Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects and the like. Thanks for joining in tonight. Welcome all Mandela effectings. Hey guys, so I have with us some special guests tonight, a couple of which are going to be joining in a little bit later. But we have Meegs B online. Say hi, Meegs.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, UNIROCK?
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Uni. Nice to meet y'all.
Okay, there we go. Okay, now you can see me. Hey, so we do have some topics for tonight that we want to discuss, and then, you know, we'll take some time to check out what's going on in the chat. If you guys want to bring up anything, that's all cool. I'm good with that. You guys good with that?
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, let's see, UNIROCK. What are your top 5 Mandela effects, UNIROCK?
Okay, I'm glad you asked me. Yeah, see, just first off, I'll just tell everybody, you know, I have a newer channel. I've only been around a couple months on YouTube. I started doing Mandela effect maybe a few weeks into my YouTube career, and I did it like everyone else. I started off just saying what examples, you know, kind of affected me, and then it spawned off into a whole bunch of videos about theories for why it could happen and all this. But, you know, I got hooked into Mandela with just a few examples, and I've rode those through pretty much till the end here right now. Luke, the Darth Vader, you know, Luke, I am your father. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. That really got me. I've even gone as far as to go find old, like 1980s Star Wars toys and extract the audio from them, because I find a lot of Star Wars toys that say, Luke, I am your father. So I take them and I take the audio straight off of them and put them into analyzing programs and like look at all this stuff. I'm really crazy about this stuff. Seriously. I'm not normal, that's for sure. The Forrest Gump, I know those are both movie Mandela effects. Those are what got me at first. And then I'd say that pretty much any change in the Bible, my next 3 would be the Bible ones. I know you were talking about the Bible change with breasts, something about men, something from a man's breast. We were talking about that a little bit ago. It's that was a crazy one for me. It kind of shocked me. And then Meegs brought up one. Yes, and talking about sucking a male's breast, I know that wasn't in the Bible before, because I've read the Bible many times. I should say that too. I study ancient religions. I've done that for probably 12 years, so I've got books and books and books of them. Read them all the time. So when I saw Bible changes, it racked my brain. So that's as far as I'll go, though. I'll stick with that. What about you, Meegs? What are yours?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm trying to, it's crazy that this has been around only a very short time. You know, I don't know. I mean, people are, ooh, Andy wants to be a star tonight. Say hi, Andy. Andy's my cat. Anyway, so yeah, for some people, they claim that they've been seeing these changes for like years and years and years, like 10 years, 12 years, whatever. It's funny, it's like only since last summer have I been privy to them. But yeah, it was like, of course, the Berenstain Bears is like the first one that gets you into it. My friend's like, you know, she's like, did you know there's a conspiracy theory about the Berenstain Bears? Because we were talking about, we're like big Stanley Kubrick fans, or, you know, well, I don't know about some of his stuff now. I don't know his involvement with, anyway, I don't know what to think of him now, but but we saw that video or a documentary about like all these conspiracy theories, and oh, that book, that Stephen King book about the Outlook Hotel. What was that called? The Shining. Okay, so we were like,
yeah.
Conspiracy theories, and she's like, did you know there's a conspiracy theory about the Berenstain Bears? I was like, no way. And I looked it up, and I was just like, oh my gosh! I was like, what? I couldn't handle it. I just couldn't handle it. And I think I saw Kat's channel shortly after that, because I looked at all the movie quote ones and stuff, and I was just like, okay, hold the phone, man. Like this ain't this. I don't accept this. This is crazy. you know, like all the movie quotes really got me, and you test them out and stuff. And so then shortly after, you know, maybe a week after, I saw Cat's channel, and I was like, oh my goodness, I had to go to Barnes and Noble and check my Bible, check those Bibles. I pulled out like 8 of them. I went to Barnes and Noble with my mom, and she's just, she always knew me to be an atheist, and she's like, honey, what are you doing with these Bibles? And I had my little app on my phone, because it had, like, back then and like last summer, there was a little spreadsheet floating around with the Bible changes, and you know, like there was the changes and then what they were before. I don't know who made that spreadsheet originally, but there were only a few at that point last summer, and I was checking the Bibles. I was like, oh my gosh, there is stuff in here. Sycamore, the tree, turned to sycamore, like with an O instead of an A. I was like, ah! But I don't know. And so now it's just taken off, obviously, and here we are. But I mean, I just lost my mind when that happened.
Exactly. You said you found some other perversion in there. Where was that perversion you found about the donkeys' emissions or something like that?
Oh my gosh, Ezekiel 23:20.
23:20.
Yeah.
Let's look at that real quick.
Yeah. Gosh, I should have it memorized by now. But yeah, it was basically like, there she lusted after her lovers, whose members or whose genitalia was like the genitalia of donkeys, and whose emission was as the emission of horses. And in other versions,
that got me. That video got me.
in other versions, it straight up says like whose genitals were the size of donkeys and whose seminal emissions was like that of horses. Like in other versions, it just paints this very specific picture. And you know, I mean, you can say, I mean, this is where it gets real tricky, because obviously there's lots of different translations of the Bible, and we're seeing the fact that there are so many different translations was maybe leading up to this whole craziness with our Bibles. Maybe that was all part of the plan all along, to have so many different translations.
I think so. To confuse us, right? They were trying to confuse us all along.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, I've taken it. This is really interesting. Since I talked about this in the video, it seems as though half of Christians that really know their Bibles or claim to, half of them don't remember this ever being in here in any translation, and half of them have memories of that always being in there. So it's, I mean, we're seeing like the kooky Mandela effect-ness of this whole thing with the seemingly different timelines. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain to anyone.
Kat pointed out another significant change, one that every Christian should know about, John 3:16. You guys know John 3:16?
Is it the one about oh, are you putting it up on the page?
I'm looking here. Here we go.
John 3:16. It now says should instead of shall. I believe Kat pointed this one out.
Yeah.
Oh, for God so loved the world. Yeah. It's like these subtle little changes, but they're huge though.
Yes, it changes the whole meaning.
Just like the logo changes. I mean, people give you flack if you cover the logo changes, but it's like they're missing the point that it is so subtle and insidious. And it's like almost like they're testing to see if we pick up on this stuff. It's like, it doesn't matter how small a change is. It's insidious all the same. You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly. We're not here to scare anyone, are we? We're just trying to show them some stuff. Like,
right.
We're seeing the changes, and we're hoping they do too. It's not like we're trying to force our minds on them.
Exactly.
But, I want to show you guys the bear logo. Have you guys seen the bear logo? It's got cutouts on the B, the E, and the R. Have you guys seen that? Bear paint?
Oh, no.
No.
Let me bring it up here in a second.
Bear like the medication? Like the medication bear? Are you talking about?
Look at this. Look at bear. And it might have shifted again. I don't remember that R being curvy like that. Look at the bear
Oh,
paint.
that's weird.
Oh.
That looks very wrong to me. Oof.
Marks right here. Triangles. So what is up with that?
Huh.
Oh, that looks so weird. No, that's not right.
Marks right here.
EHR.
And there's something about Kat pointed out about the sweat of the face. I wanted to ask her about that because it used to be the sweat of the brow in Genesis 3. Did you guys come across that at all?
Oh, the sweat of the face.
I haven't.
Ugh. That one was I wish I had more time to have like memorized like parts of the Bible or like to have read through more of it. But I mean, you know, like some of them don't, like I don't remember what they used to say, but you know, a lot of them are just so wrong that even if you hadn't had the luxury of reading through the Bible before it started to change, like, you know, it doesn't sound right, or, you know, so that one sounds kind of strange to me.
Yeah, that's from Genesis 3:19, by the way, in case you guys are looking on with us. I will be opening up, just so you know, later on, we're going to be opening up the phone calls. I'm going to provide a number and you guys can call in, okay? If you want to talk to Meegs or shout out to anyone here, that's all good.
That's awesome.
I wanted to mention about this hurricane. You guys heard about the 9/11 hurricane, Hurricane Aaron?
Yeah, you were just talking about that. That is so insane, Brian, because, you know, I think a lot of people in the truth community are also in the Mandela effect community. And so, you know, we're kind of all like the same breed of folk. And 9/11 was one of those, you know, conspiracy theories that like got me, you know, that woke me up to the fact that our worlds could like very much not be what we're told it is. And I researched every single thing about 9/11, everything for months, it was like 2 months in a row. I've never heard of a hurricane that day. That's so silly. That's never that.
Yeah, and I never heard of it either. And I watched your video when you dropped it, and I was shaken. Like I always say, shook. It shook me up really bad. Like I started typing it all over the internet trying to find, and
that girl's paid.
Yeah.
All effects look bad. Don't say shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but oh man, that's a huge one. I looked in the wineskin and couch thing about the Bible, where, you know, some people are saying that the word couch wasn't even invented when the King James was. I've heard people say that, yeah, couch has been around since 1200, but it's weird that couch is in the Bible. I never remembered that. Or wineskin, they changed it to something else. It was bottle, or it is bottle now. You probably know more about that one than I do, but that's a very strange one.
Yeah, it used to be wineskin.
Yeah.
Or it used to be wineskin, yeah.
Yeah, it just makes zero sense now, you know? Like, and people have covered this before, but it you know, begs to be addressed like as much as possible, because it's like, okay, bottles don't burst unless you play like a really, really high frequency. Maybe you got an opera singer. Maybe they're gonna burst then if you crush them under your foot, but they're not gonna burst if you pour wine in them, because you know what? They're supposed to have wine in them.
That's right.
And they can't. Where old bottles are still glass, they're not gonna, you know, they're not gonna break. They're, you know, it's just so.
Oh, hey, we got Evan. Hey, Evan.
Hi. Hang on. I don't know how to use this. So.
Guys, in case you don't know, if you're meeting these guys for the first time, let me introduce. We have Evan Powers with us. He has his own channel.
What's up, Evan?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good.
I'm still trying to figure out how to work this. You guys can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Evan, real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you, okay, I just got something in the mail today, and I was so happy about it. It had like fallen through the cracks, and I like hadn't seen it till now. But okay, I just got your shirt.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Wow, that was took a long time to get it delivered. I sent it like weeks ago.
Yeah, it's so funny. For people who don't know, Evin did a video about he made T-shirts that say Mandela effect, and I like asked
that's awesome.
and he was nice enough to send one. What a guy! And so I just found it today in the mail.
That's an awesome idea.
I want to wear it like every day now.
It's a great way to make people up to it.
Can you I don't see the chat up anywhere. This is my first time using this, so do I have to push something to be able to read the chat?
Yeah, Evan, click on that top left blue icon. It says chat up there by Google. You see on the
Okay,
top left.
just place the type right here.
Yeah, you'll see
Now
the chat.
what's this up top that says no camera turned off? So that means you guys can't see me?
That's right.
Yeah, we can't see you right now, but
There we go. Did I just turn it on for
you?
you?
Want to see the live chat? It hasn't come on yet. You're still we're seeing your picture where we don't see your live video yet.
You have to click on the turn the camera on if you want to be seen. If you don't want to be seen, it's cool.
Is that up top?
Yes,
But
up
at
top.
the very top of it.
It says turn
And then if you
camera
wanna-
off.
It says turn
You
camera
might
off.
have to configure it.
Let me see. I see a picture of a camera with a line through it. If I click it, it turns red. Now, okay, it says turn camera on. I just clicked it. No connection, huh?
Weird.
Well, if you go to the cog, there's a little cog wheel next to the camera. It's like 2 down. If you go there and select what webcam you want to use, sometimes you have to configure that to come through also.
Let me try this. No luck, huh?
Buggy thing, man.
Nothing yet.
It looks like it's doing something now. Oh, it went back.
Oh, technologies.
Right. It might be that my
Yeah. I wanted to give Evan a brief introduction. Don't know he's one of the people that first started broadcasting the Yellow Effect, and of course we have Meegs. She's been here a long time. I have a lot of respect for you guys because you kind of woke me up and some of the rest of us up. You know what I mean?
Right back at you.
I owe you my gratitude.
Some of your videos, all of you guys have really interesting videos, and it's like, man, every time I watch people talking sense about the Mandela effect, it just like warms my soul because this is a really cold and uninviting world to the Mandela affected. Okay, I know I don't have to say that to you guys, everybody listening in the chat. Like, I mean, it's one thing to like watch videos and interact with other Mandela affected people, but then like to go back out into the world like you're just another crazy psycho person talking about crazy things. That don't make sense. And yeah, you get the like cockeye thing going on all the time. So anyway, yeah, it's nice to check out all your videos, and I have a lot of respect for other researchers too, because we're all figuring this out together.
Definitely.
Exactly. I mean, we're all in here together. That's the point. We're trying to make connections with people who have shared memories. Am I right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So before we get into like some theories, I mean, we want to give some examples, of course. Evan, are you able to bring up that chat window?
Nothing's working. I'm trying to get it to work.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
You did a brilliant
why.
video about the Shiva statue. I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, I remember 6 arms.
They had like 6 arms before. Now she has 4, or he. I mean, I thought it was a she.
Yeah, I always think of Shiva because it sounds like she, not Hiva, not like a he, H-E. But I'm actually not sure which one was the male or female. But it was compared to Obama with 6 arms. And I remember seeing those pictures side by side. And I just clearly remember it did have 6 arms. Now, it's only got 4.
I've heard about this.
That blew me away. Cause you know, like recently CERN started the Awake project or whatever. So everybody, you know, is just like girding their loins to like get ready for what they have next. Right? As the Bible, yeah. So it's just like, yeah, what are they gonna do next? And so it's like, for me, it seemed like, you know, the Awake project is round 2 of like the Mandela effect changes. So, you know, of course they start out with something that's a change like on the front lawn of CERN. It's like, could it get much more obvious where it's coming from? In my humble opinion, you know, because they already had.
Oh yeah, because I did a video. My first viral-esque video was about a pamphlet that I found on the CERN website. It was provided from CERN. And it had little pictures of Darth Vader. Did you see that? Like Vader with a question mark in CERN stuff. Like,
and
come on now,
the
CERN,
Queen,
really?
right? in Sleeping Beauty.
Yes.
Right?
That was
Why
crazy.
Was it,
yeah.
That blew me away. Yeah. Ugh.
Couldn't believe it when I saw it.
Mirror thing mocking us.
Cause yeah, there's just no reason.
I think they were mocking us.
That imagery, specifically, for a children's pamphlet about CERN.
Let me ask the audience.
It was for children too.
Yeah, like what in the world? It's just,
Can I ask you guys something? Do you ever feel like with the Mandela effect, do you ever feel like you're either in a rabbit hole or you're in a mirror world or something? Do you ever feel like that?
You know, yeah. Okay. What I feel like is that it's like I am slowly starting to forget what I have always known about this world. It's like as we transition into a new reality, all the things that I know to be true, hardcore truths about this world are changing. Like for one, it's like normal for the past to be fluid, you know, and where I was from, that wasn't that way. The past was never open to being changed. And to even like discuss that, you know, to even bring that up as a concept was like extremely, you know, controversial. In fact, I read a book, David Foster Wallace did like a thesis about this, and like, I think it was called like time, language, and theory or something. But it's talking about like, what if the past could be changed just like the future could be changed? Like, what if? And it was like a big discussion with people, and like, and it was like such a crazy foreign concept to me. But now it's like, the more I talk to other people about the Mandela effect, it's like somehow normal. It's like not a big deal for the past to be fluid. It's like, no, that's a big deal in my world, in my memory.
Definitely.
I don't know about you guys. But.
It's crazy when you see movie changes, lyric changes. You know, how is this affecting our lives? I mean, it's
right.
Gone and changed everything. Like, people are different. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, they certainly react differently now. Lots more hostility.
Have you guys heard about the theory that like nuclear weapons could have changed our world and caused some of these different things to happen? You know, the different like lingering effects of nuclear weapons discharged in the atmosphere and in the sea and stuff like that. Have you ever heard about that?
Yeah, that's an interesting topic for discussion, especially in the truth community. I feel like people are kind of like undecided as to, well, actually there's like a big group of people that think nuclear energy like doesn't even exist, or like nuclear bombs don't even exist. And then there's a huge group of people that know they do exist. And so I don't know, like a lot of people discount the whole threat of like any nuclear explosions ever happening because they don't believe we have that technology. They don't even believe it exists. I don't know. I think
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't even know. I've heard that floating around a lot, but I think nuclear radiation is definitely real, or like radiation poisoning is very real, and that's definitely affecting our world right now in huge ways. but I don't know if it could affect it in the way you're talking about. But that, I've never heard that theory before, so it's worth some investigation.
I forget what channel brought it up. Yeah, there was a channel that was talking about it about a week ago. I just wanted to see if you guys saw it.
I actually thought about it. I was wondering if Fukushima had anything to do with the Mandela effect, but when I started to date it, the changes go back previous to the disaster. So I know that, you know, that's not causing it.
Previous to the
I was looking at,
disaster?
well, Fukushima was 6 years ago, but the Mandela effect has been happening for me at least since 2001. So
Wow.
because I thought, what if it's mutating? The radiation is somehow mutating our reality, you know, because we had this big leak. But it just, you know, this 6 years ago, and it's the Mandela effect's been happening so much longer. But nuclear weapons definitely exist. The people that I guess are theorizing they don't, I can understand questioning everything that the government says because they're known liars. So, you know, we should not trust what they say. But it's a pretty simple concept, splitting the atom. You know, if you just look at how a nuclear bomb works, it's not that difficult to understand. So I definitely believe they're real. They're real.
I think maybe maybe I'm talking about people who disbelieve that nuclear bombs are exactly what the government says they are, because they're like, how could we have a nuclear bomb explosion on film, like from the 50s or whatever?
That is hard to think about.
Who was filming it? Like, who is so close to be able to like film Fukushima and stuff, or Nagasaki and whatever. Anyway, that's but
You think it would blow the camera away.
We know from
if the bomb is going to blow up everything.
Yeah, so that's I don't know, mystery to me. But we know radiation poisoning.
I don't think they had. Very real, yeah. And I think, you know, they might zoom in on it, but I don't think they had that kind of zoom back then to be far enough away from the explosion. That is interesting to think about too. Yeah.
But we can see, I mean, you know that channel Beautiful Girl by Dana? He covers Fukushima like constantly. And so, you know, he's saying like, okay, there's huge amounts of animals, fish, whales, whatever, being washed up all bloody with like black gooey tumors and stuff. They're like, okay, yeah, this is radiation real. And you know, there's radiation poisoning in children near Fukushima already, but they just won't tell you about it. Anyway, so that could be a cause of the Mandela effect. Why not? Like, who knows what nuclear radiation is capable of doing?
But it's like the changes are so minute, you know what I mean? You have to have like kind of a keen eye to see some of these things. I wanted to show you guys. Now, Rena Jaceel, she sent me some amazing residue from Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Capricorn is actually the Saturn, ruled by Saturn. And there seems to be a lot of Saturn worship with these sixes. You guys notice that?
Yeah.
Let me just quickly share this with you guys. Look at this. Here's some residue how Capricorn used to be without the fishtail.
Oh yeah. That's a crazy one. Yeah, like it seems like a lot of people would not be so cool with their astrological symbol being changed. But then again, it's like,
look what's in the background there on that logo, and look with the M.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, that's insane.
It makes a 6. You see that?
Yeah. And it's a goat. So like that, of course, if there was any astrological symbol that would have been Mandela affected, it would have been the like satanic goat. The Saturn one. Wow. But yeah, I think the channel
has a fishtail. The goat has a fishtail.
Yeah.
It's a goat.
It's a goat mermaid. Effective Collective, her channel has a really good point about you know, like why people like Capricorn is their astrological sign, why they wouldn't be like all up in arms about like a sudden change in their like astrological sign. And she's saying like people that are really close to the changes sometimes are the ones that like won't see them, or, you know, are the ones that their memory will just always have been that way. Like people that live in the north of Australia. I'm sure a lot of people are just like they've just always been that close to Papua New Guinea. Like,
or maybe they just looked at a map. That could be too.
Yeah.
Weird
That's
how
my
that
problem.
works.
I need to study maps more.
But what is
Definitely.
the capital of Australia? Let's see if anyone knows this without looking. No cheating now. No cheating.
Canberra.
Capital of Australia.
Canberra
Melbourne.
now.
I'm going to say Melbourne right here. off the
I
top of
know.
my head,
I remember Sydney. That's my world. I remember Sydney. But look
Sydney.
it up now.
Oh, yeah, no, Sydney, you're right.
Look it up now. It's Canberra.
It seems like it would have been Sydney. I seem to remember that too, but like I don't know. I used to live there, and I just don't. That's one of the things I think I'm glitching out on that one. I don't know. I think it was Canberra when I lived there, but I don't know.
It is quite
Canberra.
possible.
I've never even heard of this.
I know it's quite possible. Like capitals do change, like in time. Like I know, like in history, when William Sherman he burned down Atlanta. I think Savannah was the capital at the time, and then Savannah, Georgia, went back to Atlanta once everything was cleaned up. So I know history can change like that, and it's just like the Rio de Janeiro thing kind of bothers me too. Like I remember Rio de Janeiro.
I brought that to people at my work, and they're like, nah. They're like, no, I was never Brasilia. And I'm like, okay, guys, yeah, because it's the Mandela effect. And then they're just like, you know, like, whatever. Like, on to the next topic. You know, like, there was like a little moment of like, oh, what, you know? And then nobody cares. Oh, and then I just have to hang my head and go back to making sandwiches.
Walk away.
So what's it like? Let me ask you guys, what is it like for like some of your loved ones? Are you able to explain it to them? Are they open to the idea of the Mandela effect, or have they closed you off completely? I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
A lot of closed-mindedness. Some of the family members that I've told about it really will change their answers. Like I'll tell them, oh, what do you remember? And their initial answer is exactly right the way it was. And then I'll show them, no, that's not the way it is. And then they go, oh yeah, it's all coming back to me. I remember it now. Or this always been that way. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Just 5 seconds ago, you had it the other way. So, you know, people just refuse to believe in what is totally obvious. So apparently they're on the wrong frequency.
Are you saying like they'll give you an answer that's what we remember, and then a couple minutes later they'll give you like the Mandela affected version? Like, oh, wait a minute, I actually remember this.
Yeah,
like
it's like they're getting an update.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they've been updated with the new reality. It doesn't seem that people notice the changes until it's pointed out, because a lot of them, like Mickey Mouse having a tail. I looked right at it because I was searching for the suspenders being removed, right? No suspenders on Mickey Mouse. I didn't ever notice a tail. But once somebody points it out, you can't unsee it. So I think that a lot of people are just completely oblivious, going along in their reality. And then when you show the change to them, they tend to reject it, and then the new way just becomes a part of their memories. It's like really bizarre.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my family are the ones that got me into the Mandela effect. Well, my girlfriend did. My like I showed my mom, and I've talked to my sister about it, and my sister, you know, she likes it just like any conspiracy, but my it took my girlfriend like a few months to really open my mind. Like she had said, I think it's the name, like something about the name Mandela effect. I thought it was something political at first, and then I thought like, you know, I had no clue, and I didn't want to look. And when she said something about memory, I was like, no, I don't want to do a conspiracy on memory or think about a conspiracy on memory. Okay. But yeah, once I actually watched, like, I think I always say Jacob Israel's, one of his old Mandela effect videos, and saw some examples, I was down the rabbit hole immediately. I just fell in from there. So.
Oh yeah. All you have to do is go online and find the quiz and see if you remember all that stuff. I took the quiz. It was like 100 questions, and apparently I'm affected by almost all of them.
Yeah.
I've seen very few that I don't remember the new way. surprisingly, I thought, you know, that there was going to be certain things that I remembered, but most of the claim changes are exactly how I remember them. Like, I mean, there's some that I'm absolutely positive about, and then there's others that I'm pretty sure about, but there's only like a small list of kind of hokey ones. You know, some people just make up Mandela effects, and you know that if you can find reality residue and you have a majority of people that all remember the same thing, then it's verified. So that's how, like, I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear, there's a train.
It's okay. It's not too loud.
I can mute my, let me see, I just push this. I'm gonna mute it out until it's gone.
You're fine, buddy. No, you. Yeah, but I like what Evan was saying, and when he was saying like some of his family members are, you know, they act like they kind of. I have family members who accept what I'm saying and kind of like look like they're getting it, but they just seem like not to care. And I don't know if you guys have people that you bump into like that. You tell them, they're like, oh, life was like a box of chocolates. Oh my gosh. And then they just like, oh, well, who cares? And they walk away. So like, I don't get that part of it. I see a lot of people like that.
Yeah. I was trying to explain this whole phenomenon to one of my family members. And I'm like, oh, I just wanted them to get it so bad. Because I still, like, in real life, not like this isn't real life right now, just because you guys are
we know it.
But this is realer than my physical life here sometimes. Anyway, so I'm really trying to get this person to understand like what this phenomenon really is. And I said, I'm going to start out with a subtlety. And I said this phenomenon is all about subtlety, but you know, these individual changes paint a picture. They're all part of a bigger picture that paints a picture of this phenomenon, you know? Okay, so just bear with me. What was, okay, you know the star of, I was just talking about Sally Field. What was that TV show she was always in, like Gidget or something? I was like, what's the star of Gidget? You remember Gidget, right? And he's like, Sally Fields. And I was like, yeah, exactly. She always had an S. Now it's just Sally Field. And he was like, well, that's just ridiculous. Like, why would you even bring that up? He's like, that's just ridiculous. And I was trying to set it up for him, you know, because I knew he watched the show when he was little. And like, I think people get caught up with the seeming insignificance of like a word or a name or a logo, but it's just not insignificant if it leads to the conclusion that our past is fluid. Okay, like we don't care. It's not like we're obsessed with the Target logo or the Bear logo. It's not like we're personally obsessed with logos because we're just obsessed with them. It's painting a bigger picture here. It's like, you put people don't have enough patience to just hear your point and just hear you out.
Yeah, I know what you're going through, Meegs. I'm honest with you. You brought up Sally Field, and Sally Fields, check this out. She talks about her brother working at CERN.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I heard that. I mean, I heard that. It's like all these S names too. But I mean, that's another thing that goes back to CERN. It's another arrow pointing back to CERN.
Yeah, and there's so many synchronicities like that, you know? I mean, Sally Field took a tour of CERN and her brother showed her all this stuff, and it's crazy.
Maybe that's where she lost her S. Maybe it's still at CERN.
That's what I was about to say.
No, maybe.
Maybe it's in one of those vats of green chemicals, or I don't know what they have there. That where I don't know, like if that's where the Joker like fell into the like chemical vault and then he got collided.
Oh yeah.
Do they have chemicals there? I don't know. I don't know what CERN's doing. Wouldn't we all love to know like what's behind like all those secret doors and stuff? What are they doing there?
Exactly. Would you want to know too? I mean, that's the big question. Would you want to know what's going on? I mean, if you knew the truth, like what was going on, you know,
They're even in space now. They're doing experiments in space. It's crazy.
And
I know it's kind of scary, right? They could erase us if they wanted to. I mean, what if that's the scenario here? What if they don't like us? Like, what if they take me out or one of you guys out? You know what I mean? For being an outgoing person and sharing their experiences with people.
oh yeah, they know exactly what we're doing.
Fake news. It's considered fake news.
Fake news. No, they got their little fingers on the pulse of the Mandela effect community, like without a doubt. They have us all in their like Mandela effect folder, like on their desktop, and you know, like, they have all our information, I'm sure. Yeah, but you know what? This is where
we talked about it.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Well, I was just going to say we've talked about Mandela effect as a weapon. That would be the only way to use it. Erase somebody, you know. It's a scary thought.
But this, for me, this is where God comes in, and this is what, like, God helps me not lose my mind, like wondering if they can physically erase human bodies from existence, which is a valid question. You know, like, I have faith that God will not allow that to happen. So, you know, I don't have fear in that way. And I don't even have fear that the NSA probably is listening in right now and knows exactly what we're talking about. Doesn't matter to me. I think they're probably having like a nice like snack, popcorn, just like checking, you know, or the
just watching along.
Like, what are they gonna find tonight? Like, what are they gonna...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, guys. Like, you know, what are they doing with us? You know, are we like ants and someone's trying to like ant bully? You know, are they taking their magnifying glass and sitting here trying to burn us and see if we scatter? What's the point of all this?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to take this one, Evan?
Well, I definitely think that we are people of interest. It works on frequencies. I mean, that's my best guess. And obviously we're on a different frequency, so that's going to be an area of study for them. Like Sally Field is obviously a test subject. I don't believe that the chances of her being a Oscar-nominated actress and having a brother who's a top world scientist is likely. I mean, lightning doesn't strike twice, right? So obviously they needed to experiment, change her name. It's connected with, you know, the movie Forrest Gump, change the line. So the connection between that obviously is she's a test subject. So I don't actually believe that her brother does work for CERN. I believe that as a monkey, he's an experiment, yeah. But it just isn't likely. I mean, what parents? That's pretty good genes if they can, you know, push out 2 children who become world famous at something.
Yeah.
Or it could be an Illuminati thing. You never know. I mean, do they have connections? I know that's stretching.
Have you guys?
That's a stretch.
Have you guys ever tried downloading one of these Masonic Bibles online? Is that just like a hoax or what? Because every time I click on one, there seems to be a virus.
Wow.
Well, I can find out for you. Where I live in Ohio, a lot of my friends from high school are Masons now, and I'm not saying this is a gag or anything.
Yeah.
I know, like, some of my best friends are Freemasons now. I could ask them. I've always wanted to ask them about their Bible or their book, you know, because a lot of it is online. They try to put them on, so.
Yeah. That's interesting. There's so much to talk about regarding the Masons, isn't there? But like the people don't like to hear about that very much. But yeah,
for sure.
I wouldn't download any Masonic Bible onto your computer though, like just for the, I don't know, that's dark energy on your computer.
You become a target. Yeah.
Any viruses. Because if you guys, I mean, I don't maybe want to get into like a deeper discussion of Freemasons at this juncture in time, but it is very much worth investigating. But if you look up like Albert Pike or Manly P. Hall, all they talk about like with Masonry like goes like straight back to Lucifer. Like Lucifer's all over like the Masonic books, like well, I mean sometimes hidden like in Morals and Dogma and stuff, but I mean very interesting stuff, very dark stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, definitely. You look at the Masonic symbol; it kind of resembles Saturn, like the cube. Let me see if I can pull one up and show you guys real quick.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to pull it up because I don't remember what it looks like.
You're talking about the
Yeah.
squared compass with the G in the
Yeah,
middle.
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. And G is
Oh,
supposed to represent the grand architect of the universe.
Actually, people have so many different ideas on what the G means. And I was watching this interview with Freeman Fly and Richie from Boston. Freeman Fly is like the original truther, and he was like this very knowledgeable like hippie dude that would go around. He like accurately predicted 9/11, and he learned the Kabbalah, like tree of life and gematria and stuff, and would go around to parties and like tell people about the Freemasons and be like, yo, like this is what's up. He was saying that he studied the Kabbalistic tree of life, and there are all these nodes in the tree and all these paths that you can take to get to heaven, or the heaven node. I'm probably botching this, but the G path is supposed to be the quickest path that you would only take if you have like the highest wisdom or whatever. But like in the middle of the Kabbalistic tree of life, there's the abyss, and the G path starts at the bottom of the tree of life and goes over the abyss, going like you have to like face your insanity. You have to face the darkest part of yourself, which goes into like the horrible stuff they do in Freemasons. Anyway, so that's the most direct path to heaven, going over the abyss. So that's that's the G path to heavens. But that's only, I've heard so many different things about why the G is the G. I've heard it's also like a Ouroboros, where it's like a snake eating itself, like eternity, or like I've also heard it's a phallic symbol. I don't know, guys. It's weird. Well, bad. That's all I know.
I've actually I've got some information about it. It is connected to the Mandela effect, but I can't share my I don't know what to deal with the webcam. I actually have an external one plugged in. It's low tech, so it's like it's an HD, and I don't know if maybe it's the resolution is too high. But yeah, I've got some information on all of that. The Mandela effect has a pattern, and so I've been decoding it, and I've come up with a lot of interesting things, but it's all pretty much visual. So I don't know what the deal is. I actually think it's because I have an external camera. I tried the built-in webcam, and that's not working either.
Oh darn!
Are you able to screen share at all? Like, can you see?
Well, I haven't tried it because it's got the address up here, and I guess like you could be hacked, right? That happened once. So if I share my screen, I guess if I would have to put down the Google Hangouts so that the web address remains anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I don't know. I've never used.
Find a picture.
Could you send the file to one of us, and we could?
No, I have physical objects. I have things that physical. As it turns out, my family on my stepfather's side had a couple of generations of Freemasons, and when they passed away, they left behind some stuff, and so I began to notice these coffee mugs, and they sure enough have the Freemason symbol on them. So I started to take a look at it. And with my Bible study, learning symbolism is important for prophecy, understanding the biblical numbers, gematria and everything. So with the Mandela effect, a light bulb came on right away. And I've been able to decode a lot of these things, how these changes work and what some of the meanings of them are. It's fairly obvious when you begin to understand the symbols. But I have it all, like I said, I don't know what the deal with my camera is.
Oh,
It's okay.
Maybe
I sent a little message to you, Evan. It might help.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you could just talk us through it, and then like maybe, I don't know, do the video later with the actual objects. Or link, I don't know. Maybe if we make a video, we'll put it in the description.
Okay, I was going to try one more time, just the built-in webcam, but I actually tried it a couple times. So, basically when you have quantum entanglement, you've got two different particles and they're intimately connected. And what happens to one, the other is affected in the opposite way. So if you can imagine making a certain mass bigger, that would mean somewhere else there's a mass becoming smaller. Or if, you know, you were to make something disappear, it's got to reappear another place. So we're seeing disappearing letters, we're seeing words changing, but it's actually it's playing Scrabble, because those actual letters are going from one place to another. And the target area is basically an encrypted message. So in the Masonic Bible, which I actually have one handy here, I am in no way affiliated. I'm a born-again Christian, but I do study the Bible in Greek and Hebrew. And so this was really interesting to me, is that their Bible is written encrypted. So I mean, you guys were talking about downloading it on the line. It wouldn't matter because you couldn't read it. It's written in encryption. So the same thing with the Mandela effect. Some people have already brought this to light, and there's some things, you know, that people talk about, two becoming one, you know, but it's all pointing towards a basic theme of the kingdom of the Antichrist, which is a monopoly. He's a ruler over currencies, money, basically. And so through advertisement, they've actually used subliminal messages all along. And so our minds don't pick up on it, but it's there. And the things we're seeing change are in advertisement, even if it's a celebrity's name, that because it's a celebrity, their name becomes a product. And so that's why we're seeing name. If the movie quote changes, often the name of the actor may change too. But
wow.
Yeah, so I mean, I've got some stuff to show you guys, quite a bit actually. I've really been looking into this, and also does anyone remember X-Acto blades being spelled with an E, or is it just?
You mean like X-Acto, or?
Well, X-Acto blades now, it's just X-Acto, like with just an X. But I remember it being an EX, and so I don't know if it's just me. I wanted to ask about that.
Is that a brand new one?
I don't remember. Gosh, that's weird.
It just looks strange just being an X to me. X.
An X.
What?
Yes. X-Acto.
No,
It's just
no. I remember it was X-Acto with an EX.
That's what I thought it was. That's what I thought too. But what a lot of Mandela effects.
What do you guys think in the chat? Acto or
That is so crazy.
Acto?
You guys look that one up real quick, and also look up the someone sent me some residue on Revlon. Look up the Revlon logo. That's changed. It's got the L and the O connected like a 6. We're seeing all these 6s pop up, folks.
Yeah, the 6. There's other key numbers like 33, 13.
Yeah.
And if you actually do the gematria, you will see with the changes the reason why certain things are selected to be changed. These are deliberate, intentional changes. It's not random, as some people would think. There's another universe where things were slightly different, but I just don't believe that's the case. I believe in multiple dimensions, other realms. But the changes are I mean, I can give you guys some examples. It's easier to see it. I have some stuff written out here. But Looney Tunes, okay, there's 2 O's in Looney and 2 O's in Tunes. Well, if you go to Fruit Loops, it now has 2 O's in as well. So what you have basically are 4 circles, right? 88. And there's an excellent video. I just watched a video yesterday to recommend to everybody. I mean, this made my day. This was great. Let me try to find it, and I'll tell you what it is. The channel is called Zenith of the Alpha, and there's one on here. Knowledge of 666. That was an excellent video. But also, if you watch 88 is 4 circles, and that's exactly what you see in the Fruit Loops.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll see there's 4 circles. So, but where'd it come from? It came from Looney Tunes. And on my diagram, you can really see it. So I'll just like Smokey the Bear. The is missing, but we have it added to Home Depot. So now the Home Depot. Curious George, he doesn't have a tail anymore, but yet now Mickey Mouse does. So what I'm saying is it's going from one place to the other. Adidas was spelled with the word ad, ADD. Well, now it doesn't have that. But Adam's Family is spelled ADD with 2 Ds. And you know, Curious George was selected because it's a to lose its tail to symbolize evolution, the lie of we evolved. And Mickey Mouse received the tail because Mickey Mouse is MM, which equals 33. So anytime you see two M's, like Mickey Mouse, or even I mean, there's a lot of examples here, but it's right in the logo for the D-Wave computer. So if you look at D-Wave computer, the E and the A are the exact same letters. One is upside down, one's in reverse. So this is in coordination with Daniel 8:23, that he will understand dark sentences. So this is clearly a symbol as above, so below. The E and the A are flipped over. Well, so this is why you find Oscar Myers and Oscar Mayers, the men's warehouse or the warehouse, Bernstein and Bernstein. It's the A and the E that are switched, right? Just like on the D-Wave computers. So, on the D-Wave computer, if you read it as two E's, it actually says Eve, which is the mother. Same thing with, S's. S's are dropping off of some things, which is a symbol of, like one, becoming one, but they're being added to others. So like Chuck E. Cheese was added an S, but Chuck E. Cheese is CC. So you take the alphabet and you go 1, 2, 3. The third letter of the alphabet is a C. So where you have Chuck E. Cheese equals 33. And this is why they got the S.
Wow.
Morton salt. Morton salt is, it used to have an S. I always remember it Morton's. Now the S is missing. But we are the salt of the world, right? This the Bible tells us. And it comes from the word salary. And so salary is what builds our monetary system. So basically, this is a clear monetary system of the mark of the beast. It'll be all part of what eventually will be an electronic tattoo or a chip in your hand. So like Bragg's lost its S, but if you take a look at the bottle, what you'll see is a fish with a Bible verse, and you'll see three Hebrew letters. So the 3 Hebrew letters stand for kosher. It's a kosher product, but you have both the Old and New Testament represented. S
was that a pop? Did that pop up? Was that always
look at a bottle. Yeah, always. A bottle of Bragg's has the fish and the Hebrew, which is the Old and the New Testament.
Rock, can you pull that up real quick?
I actually do have it, but
sure will.
I don't think you guys can see my screen.
Give me 2 seconds here.
Yeah, share that with everyone.
If I can get
my
browser back. Not at all.
That Bragg.
Also, this one drives me crazy. We were talking about Looney Tunes. Instead of Tiny Toons now, it's Tiny Toon. It's just Tiny Toon Adventures.
I love the Tiny Toons. Did you guys watch that? I love that show.
I love Tiny Toons.
Not Tiny Toons.
Tiny Toons, man. Yeah, that was some good stuff.
What about
Bragg?
While we're
There
talking
we go.
about cartoons, what about Flintstones? Does anyone remember Flintstones without the T, and then it went back to the T? Sometime around October, I think, is when it flipped.
It was definitely without the T, but then people remember it with the T. I don't know. For me, it was always without the T. Flintstones, kids. Not Flintstones.
Hey,
Come on.
hey, Kat.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, we got Yeshua on board. Hey.
Hi, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you for inviting me.
Amen.
What a privilege.
Good to have you here, Kat.
Oh, it's nice to be on. It's nice to be on the end where I can just kind of observe.
Hey, Kat, the volume, if you could just turn it up a hair. I don't know. It's a little bit hard to hear.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Hey, you guys. It's so nice to be together with people that see changes going on. It's so insane.
I know, right?
It is. Okay, so what did I miss? Where were you guys before?
Do you have a YouTube channel, Kat?
I do. It's EYA.
Can you introduce her for me, Brian? Okay.
Yes. Extol Yeshua.
I'm really new, by the way. Nice to
Brian.
meet you.
Channel. I'll post it in the comments.
Okay, Brian. My channel name is just EYA.
Yes, if you look up EYA, you can find her on YouTube. I'll post a link in the comments. You guys
Okay.
can see that for sure. Yeah, we're really glad to have you. And I was saying to everyone, you know, you guys are the forefathers, the founders, basically. You saw the changes before.
Foremothers.
Huh?
The foremothers.
The foremothers.
You
Yes.
know what? I want to go and give the
Absolutely.
credit to you know, Photo Helix, and there were others.
Esoteric Detective is really good.
Yes.
That's one of the first channels.
Yeah. he's
Jacob
good.
Israel is another big one.
You know what? I actually did watch a video that he did before I started my channel, and but I haven't watched them since.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think what they do a lot of the time, I think they do a compilation video where they do a ton of Mandela effects at once, not just report them individually. So I think that's how he's been doing it, and same with Michelle Plotty. Everyone loves her channel. I mean, she gets on there. The only thing is she speaks a little bit foul language. That part I don't like, but she is amazing at reporting Mandela effects. I actually watched hers, and she always has that phrase that she was shook. But yeah, we're all kind of shaken by these Mandela effects. Yeah, Meegs, go on with that impression.
You shook a lot.
Yeah, like sexualized, doesn't it? Like, like what's the best light that I can make Mandela pose in? Like, can we just?
Big Jordan t-shirt. Joe is telling us with a t-shirt that you got.
Oh, okay. One more time, guys. This is thanks to Evin Powers. I just got this in the mail today, even though it was like six months ago that he sent it. It says Mandela effect.
Did you create that?
Huge. I'm actually wearing mine too.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't wait to have this be a conversation starter. You know, I can't wait to like lose more friends that I haven't even made yet. Anyway.
Well, you never know. You might form a connection with somebody. You don't even have to talk about it. They just see it. So that's great.
Right. And yeah, maybe I'll make a lot of new friends that are still in the closet. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I know, right?
Anyway, Kat, can you tell us, we were talking about how like coming to our family and friends about the Mandela effect. Can you have some interesting attempts to bring this to people? Do you feel like sharing those?
Okay, well, to my family
or friends or whatever.
Friends. Well, I've shared this before in my hangouts, but I woke up to the changes in June of 2016, so almost a year ago, and I was so startled. And so the whole month of June, I researched this. I couldn't believe it. And I went to my family members and I was telling them and asking them questions about products and movies and logos, and their memory matched mine. And then I would tell them that, well, actually, that's not the way it is anymore. And at first, they were floored. They were speechless. And then one of them said they didn't want to talk about it anymore. The next one, we laughed so hard we were crying over some of the changes. Literally, we were crying because they were so funny. And
that's pretty weird.
Yeah, really weird. I mean, the one that we were laughing so hard about was like California Dreaming. You know, where it's just like get down, pretend to pray. You know, it's just like crazy. And we were laughing so hard we were literally crying. And then that relative literally shut down, didn't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh,
and
no.
And then my friends, I sent out an email to lots of friends, old and new friends, and I only got feedback from less than a handful of them, and they were the ones that did respond were angry. So that was kind of my response. I mean, I really actually don't really I choose not really to say much about it anymore to those in my life because they don't really want to hear. it freaks them out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, so if I bring up, like, the last time when I brought up was the word barbecue, and I said that's changed, and you know, they didn't
Oh
want to believe it.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they didn't want to believe it. I mean, it's really crazy, and I think that what happens is it plays with people's minds, right? But I did you guys answer those questions before me? Because I'd be interested in hearing how people have responded in your life. Did I miss that?
We lightly touched on it, but that's always interesting to me. I always love hearing stories of, you know, people sharing this with people they care about, because it also is kind of a scientific exploration into how people react, like, you know, across the board. Like we're getting a feel for how this could, you know, people could just have a mental block with this, you know. That's what it seems like sometimes.
What about
Yeah,
you guys? What about you,
definitely.
Brian? Or what's and UNIROCK? I don't think I've ever met you before. I don't know who you are, but how has it been for you guys in sharing about the effects with your family and loved ones?
Go ahead,
Well-
Brian. I'll talk after you.
Okay, thanks. You sure?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, well, I have like one family member that's on board with me. You know, my mother, my father is sort of getting tired of hearing me talk about it. But you know, like my sister, she's kind of tuned it out. She believes it's like psyop stuff, but it's not. I mean, we're all seeing these changes. We're not causing the changes. I don't believe we are. There has to be an outside source, and I think it's probably CERN. I mean, a lot of things are pointing at CERN. Of course, they could always be the scapegoat too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's
I'm
hard.
definitely not causing any changes. Oh my goodness.
Gosh, I hope not either.
Oh my God, for one, yeah, I can definitely say I'm not causing any changes. That would Affected Collective she talks about this on her channel. She's like, I don't want that kind of power. She's like, I don't want that kind of power to be causing these changes. I definitely don't think it's with us.
Well, I do see us becoming more closer to God. I mean, do you guys see that? I'm seeing more awareness of our Creator and Jesus Christ, our Savior. You know, that's what I'm seeing a lot of. People are actually believing, you know, that it's true, and it is. You know, it's not just some fable or fairy tale.
Absolutely. And, you know, like I myself have Kat to thank for that, really. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's what we're seeing. Now I'm hearing from people that have converted basically from agnosticism or atheism. When they see the Bible changes, they're like, whoa, like this is real, you know, like they find God from it. So, I mean, that's pretty amazing. It's been an improvement in my life, I can say.
Yeah.
I want to ask.
Yeah, I think there's. Oh, go ahead, man.
No, UNIROCK, you were going to talk about yours. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh. Yeah, I was going to say that I've seen a huge awakening, though, all across the internet from a lot of scientific-minded, I know that's probably bad grammar, but scientifically minded people. I don't know how to say that correctly, but I see a lot of them waking up to this now. And like people that would never accept, you know, paranormal or, you know, really, you know, just the conspiracy side of things. There's a lot of people waking up to that. I think the Mandela effect has a lot to do with that, though. So I think it's a good thing, at least there. I wanted to say hi too because I never met. How do I pronounce? Do I say EYA or UA or how do I pronounce your channel? I'm sorry.
I don't know if she stepped away. It's EYA.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I put it on mute and I was answering your question, but I was muted. But my name is Kat. You can call me Kat, but it's EYA.
Okay.
EYA.
Okay.
So
all right.
UNIROCK, what I haven't seen your videos, but do you focus? I guess I could take a look at your channel afterwards. But how has the Mandela effect affected you guys?
Yeah. Well, I was I was mostly like into UFOs and other conspiracies like that. And I started to do Mandela effects because of my girlfriend. She kept pushing me to look at the Mandela effect. And I never would. Like for like a month, I kept saying, no, I don't want to watch this. And I don't know why. It was this weird thing. It was just strange. I didn't have a reason not to look because I was open to every conspiracy or making a video about every conspiracy. And I said this a little earlier, but I know you weren't here, but it was like as soon as I watched the first video on it, I fell down the rabbit hole with it. You know, once I saw a change that affected me, I was just, you know, I started making videos on theories about the Mandela effect and some examples. I try to go more towards theories. That's why I'm glad that I've been talking to Brian, because Brian keeps track of all the examples and stuff. And I don't have a way to really look into that. So I'm glad that that's happened now. So hopefully I'll get more open to the examples on the Mandela effect changes, but it has changed. It's changed me in a great way. I'm more open to spirituality now. I was real scientific. I'm going to mispronounce this again, or how you say it wrong again, but I was very scientific minded. I was just not willing to look at the, I mean, I was spiritual, but I never let it go into my views on the topics I covered until Mandela effect. And now I'm much more open-minded. I'm thankful for that.
And now you're like a research.
But I'd like to hear you guys.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like hearing about people that do like a
Evan, you want to tell us your story?
Oh, well, is my microphone working?
Yeah, we can hear
Okay. Yeah, so I began to notice things were pretty strange before I had heard of the Mandela effect. And when I saw the product labels, of course, I assumed the company was rebranding their logos. If I at that point would have known it had always been that way, I would have been onto it years ago. I would have known right then. But I just thought they were, you know, coming out with new packaging. But what began getting very strange is society and like interaction with people. People just seem to care less and less. And I just remember a different time and time speeding up. And I knew something was off. And I was always studying the Bible prophecy. And when I come across the Mandela effect, I first saw Moneybag's video, right? He said, this is going to blow your mind, guys. And I got every answer, you know, the original way. And then so I started watching. They didn't have that many videos then. You know, it was back then. It was new. The Mandela, you know, what's her name? Fiona Broom. You know, it was a recently coined that title. And I thought Mandela effect, ME. Those initials fit directly with selfishness. You know, 1, 2, 3. It's all about me. A lot of people are narcissists or obsessed with themselves. There's a lot of selfishness. That name is fitting. And anyways, yeah, since then it's just blown up. There's been changes continuously happening, and it really opened the doors to a lot of new theories about the end times. And also, when I came across flat Earth, that was a mind opener too. So it seems like things are being revealed. There is a revelation or an unlifting of the veil, but unfortunately, there's only about maybe 3,000 people or so. You just going by the view count. Who know about it. I mean, the rest of the world is completely lost. So, I mean, it's amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
I agree with what you said, man, because like it does. Well,
Yeah,
it seems like society doesn't care as much as they used to.
they're trying to zone us out. You know, I think people are. I called 3 restaurants yesterday, and none of them can spell vinaigrette. Right, and it has the letters AI in it. I don't remember an AI in vinaigrette. Do you?
I kind of do. But
Maybe
that's interesting.
too, but I kind of remember it without the A, or just the AI just looks funny. I don't know.
I'm a horrible speller.
I'm horrible too. I definitely.
Oh, definitely changed.
Yeah.
Definitely always was with an A. Oh, instead of an I. Yeah. Now it's more selfish because it has more I's in there. But no, I think I think they do have a pattern because, and Evan's really smart to point that out, because that is how occultism works. I mean, that's what the Freemasons are all about. Anybody involved in the occult, involved in like gematria, numerology, that stuff is laughable to us because everybody laughs about that kind of stuff in the media, like poking fun of, you know, conspiracy theorists or whatever, but like that is very real to them. So, I mean, that has great important, like numerology, gematria stuff, not worth looking into in great detail, but take a look at it just to know it exists and to know it's important to a lot of people that are in control of our countries. So.
Well, it's actually more in the Bible. The entire book of Revelation is written in symbolism. The Bible itself is parallels. All the stories parallel Old and New Testament. There's a lot of hidden knowledge in the Bible.
Yeah.
But the thing with the spelling words, you guys were talking about spelling word changes, is I would go on my cell phone and I'd be typing a lot, and one word, and it would give me the red line and correct me. And what was annoying is every time that I spell a word the way I remember it, it automatically corrects it. So a lot of people aren't even noticing because they're just moving along. And if you go back and change it, I have to like fight with my phone, which is a huge sign. Artificial intelligence taking over, telling us how to spell words. Like you can't even spell a word wrong anymore. And so I mean, I think AI, the artificial intelligence, quantum computers, particle accelerators, is all a big part of this whole new world that we're in. And it's just the words that are changing too. We're definitely in a dilemma, right? They're key words.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the dilemma word changed, as we all know. Dilemma had an M and an N, and it took me a long time to re-accept that because it changed to MM. So
Yeah.
I wish I knew when this stuff started changing. Don't you guys? Like,
Yeah.
you think it changed at different times?
At least
It just all kind of hit us at once. And
No, I
2001
could answer
was-
that question if you want.
yeah, Harmony, go ahead. Maybe you can
What's
explain.
up, Harmony?
Hey, Meegs, how you doing there?
Good. We're glad to have you here.
I guess let me give some quick shout outs. Meegs, my
Hi, Harmony.
absolutely loves you like everyone else. UNIROCK, your videos crack me up, dude. You got me laughing all the time. And EYA, I
Thanks, bro.
consider you the authority on the Bible changes. You do an absolutely phenomenal job. If I want to know about any Bible changes, I go to your channel. And Aaron, I'm sorry I don't know you, or Evan, I apologize I don't know you.
No worries. Nice to meet you, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. In order for you to believe me, I hate to repeat myself over and over again, but I guess I'll do so you might believe me a little bit. I did work 12 people below the United States President. I helped create the Airborne Early Warning Wing. I began my day every day by reading the classified CIA worldwide intelligence reports, and then I would download hundreds of other classified documents, and then, that took a couple hours, and I began my day. So I kind of know what's going on in the world a little bit, and I've also been involved in a lot of black ops projects. My background is physics. If you look at my icon, you are looking at the universe before they manipulated this universe and created what you know as the Mandela effect. It was actually, the technology behind it was created 100,000 years ago. You have been experiencing the Mandela effect your entire life, you just don't know it. What's happened is the internet is around, and now we can compare notes. Because back in the day, I'm in the grocery store and I pick up Oscar Mayer because I had a hankering for some bologna, and I looked at it and I said, Mayer? M-A-Y-E-R, what's that? Oh, I guess they changed the name. Threw it in my basket. I'm listening to mirror. The first Mandela effect I personally experienced was 23 years ago, and I heard mirror, mirror. No, I heard magic mirror on the wall. I was dusting my house. My son's 5 years old. He was watching, that movie, and I heard magic mirror on the wall, and I went, 5-alarm emergency! Hold the press! That's wrong! And then I sat there and went, oh, I guess they just did a remake because they're always redoing movies. It's just a remake. It can't, because I saw that movie, cartoon 20 years ago when I was 5. So I'm like, that's just a remake. And that's all you do is you just go about your life going, the logo changed, this changed, things changed, and you just don't notice it. But the internet, we all collaborate, we come together, and now we're all comparing notes. And the thing is, if you listen to my videos, we have been transported back and forth all our lives. We've been bouncing back between realities. And in August of 2015, the reason there's such a peak at that time, if you just go into, Brian, you might remind me, it was a Google Trends, and you type in Mandela effect, and you can see there's this huge spike August 2015. It's because on the classified level, and if you're into conspiracy stuff, a lot of people know this, the dark side of the moon, the technology there was a huge battle, and it was attacked, and there's this big sabotage. So a lot of the technology got shut down. Now, the moon is also tied into Saturn. It's a relay system, and if you want to believe a flat Earth, we can go there some other day. But even a flat Earth, God said that He put the wandering planets in the dome. So I don't care, flat Earth, globe, doesn't matter what you believe. There's something out there. All right. So it broke down the signals that are coming from Saturn being amplified by the moon, and then boom, we begin to start to wake up because their mind-altering technology got sabotaged. So that's why you saw the peak in 2015, because people came out of their hypnotic state, their hypnotic trance. The thing is, not everybody came out of it. The programming is so good. Why is it called TV program? Because they program you. Why is it called spelling? They're casting a spell on you. Hollywood is actually a wand that the magicians use. That's what Hollywood is. It's all over your faces. When they use these symbols, the symbols they use are not symbols. It is physics, folks. And if you follow my physics series, I can prove to you that they are not throwing up symbols. They are actually going into higher dimensions, manipulating space, time, and matter. Okay, that's what they're doing. This stuff's real. There's real stuff going on. And in August 2015, the tech got broken down. And that's why everybody's waking up. We have the internet. Everybody's talking, and I don't want to be on a soapbox, so I'll shut up now.
Actually,
I
have seen some of your videos.
Great.
I just recognized your voice, and I see
Me too.
the pattern. And I watched some of your videos a while back about the human anatomy changes.
Yes. I was the very first person in the world to make the human anatomy changes. All of them. The brain, the eye, the sockets, you name it. I made every single video. Dr. Lupo copied my work. He did an excellent job. So if you saw his video, you've seen it. So, and then, oh my gosh, hundreds of people copied my artwork. What was funny was people actually thought it was a textbook, and they're like, well, the one on the right is a woman, the one on the left is a man. No, it's art. It was made up. That drawing in my video is made up art, like pencil and paper. So when you copy that video, you're copying my brush strokes, the mistakes. The screwed from the waist down was so jacked up. Dr. Lupo just cut that completely out, and he focused on the waist up, because from the waist down is that the drawing's just a mess. It's all wrong.
The anatomy of the human anatomy with the skeletons, like the old Earth and the new Earth.
That's my drawing.
Wow.
Yeah, he copied it from me.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and
no, everyone copied it, not just him. I'm talking like hundreds of people copied that. It became a folklore.
Skeleton.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just like divine pollination.
Mandela folklore.
Yeah, just because divine pollination made their skeletons. That's another famous skeleton on the YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to say your old Earth skeleton made a heck of a lot of sense, and it was very refreshing for me to see when I was just waking up to this and realizing that our ribs had changed drastically and whatnot. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, I guess I'm famous for saying I know how to massage myself. Everybody loved that comment.
I'm sorry to cut in, but speaking of ribs, real quick, is it true that now men and women have the same number of ribs? And
yes,
didn't Adam have like one less rib?
Yes, it is, and it goes along. If you really study your folklore, your legends, whatnot, basically, there's two stories in the Bible. One Bible got cut out. Her name was Lithis. She was pissed off at Adam. She didn't want to submit to him, so she decided to run off, create her own Earth. And on that Earth, God made Adam and Eve both from the dust. But on our old Earth, Adam was created, but then God took a rib from Adam to create Eve, and that's why there's one less rib. So on our old Earth, we know that story because that's what happened on that Earth, and that's how Adam and Eve grew up here. But on this Earth, man and woman were actually created out of the dust, the clay, together, and that's why they have equal ribs. If you go into all your folklore and history and stuff.
Yeah, I don't ever remember having that hanging rib, but now I feel it, and it's just, oh, it's so crazy. I also just saw a comment on one of my videos about the skull being changed, and you know, we were talking, and even in your video, Harmony, you were talking about like transorbital lobotomies and how you're going through that. Somebody commented like, no, it's always been through the nose, honey.
Always.
Like, really?
Always here.
Okay. That's a transnostril lobotomy. Like, what?
It's just, you know, people always say, how do doctors operate on people? How, you know, if a guy starts trying to stick an ice pick through somebody's eye. Well, the answer is, if you know anything about the medical field, they always take an x-ray before they cut into someone. So they know what they're cutting into because they got the x-ray right up there on the freaking screen. Doctors know what they're cutting into. This is not gutting fish, you know.
Yeah, the anatomy changes are some of the most disturbing because I think they really did happen. Like, I do think we have the wall, we have the bone wall.
Well, we do. Those are my x-rays I put in the video.
Oh, you did?
Those are my x-rays. I put my personal x-rays in that video.
Wow.
Those are my x-rays. Blew my mind away.
Trying to feel the hole.
But guess what? Hey, guess what? But I have the old kidneys and I have the old heart. My organs are old Earth, but my skeleton is new Earth. It's like I'm a hybrid.
Wow. See,
Best of both worlds. That's how you got to look at it.
I think the changes, like the human anatomy changes, just go to show us that like there's certain things in this world, and the Bible tells us this too, like this world is falling away. Like this world world of flesh and bone ain't gonna last that long. And you know, that gave me great comfort actually, because we know it's like only dust to dust, and it's like these changes are kind of just making that you know, just putting that right in front of us. Like your own body just drastically changed. Like you have to worry about your spirit, which they can't change. Anyway, that's
exactly. You know what?
Definitely.
That's probably one of the most profound things I've heard in the last year, Meegs. It's your soul.
Yeah.
Your soul doesn't change.
Yeah.
You are who you are. You're in a shell, but at the end of the day, you are a spiritual being, a soul, and that's what's important and what we have to focus on.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was really profound, Meegs. Thank you for saying that.
Oh, well, I mean, it's straight from the Bible.
Well, there you go. You can't go wrong with that once I'm going to change that.
Shed some light on this whole.
Yeah, Kat, speaking of Adam, I heard you did a video about the sweat of the face instead of the sweat of the brow. I mean, what is up with that now? Like,
What? That changed too? It's the brow.
It was the sweat of the brow.
Always the brow, yeah.
Did Kat do a video? But I don't think I did one about that.
Kat, are you there?
Maybe she stepped away.
Probably.
She's on mute. She stepped away. When you step away, you just go on mute, and that way that's how you know people are away, Brian. Like if I step away, I'm gonna just go on mute like this real quick, and that's how you know I'm away.
That's how you know I'm away.
But yeah, there's so many changes. It's just like a landslide of mountain changes, like or a landslide of Bible changes. It's like hard to keep up with.
Oh, I
because
can't. I can't. That's why I just go to Cat's channel.
I know for anyone who hasn't seen Kat's channel, she's been so diligently putting out videos like almost every day about new changes happening to the Bible, and she's read her Bible for the past 30 years of being a Christian. I trust
and I
her.
love her. I love her voice and tone. It just cracks me up.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just Old Testament, it's New Testament also that's changing. I'm seeing a lot of things about the face and the eyes, and the eyes to see has been removed from Matthew 11:15. Have you guys noticed that?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Are you talking about those who have
that.
eyes to see? That one?
Yes. He who has eyes to see, let him see. He who has ears to hear, let him hear.
What does it say now?
Wow.
I didn't hear you. What does it say now?
He who has
the eyes to see, let him see. To hear, let him hear. The eyes to see has been removed from that verse.
But what does it say now? Just it's gone?
That half of the verse is gone, where the eyes to see. So they're trying to take away our sight.
What book and verse is that?
Matthew 11:15. Doesn't matter what Bible you're in, and they all supposed to say the same thing.
I can't believe it. I'm gonna look it up right now. that's you know what that means symbolically. That's symbolically. Yeah, go ahead, UNIROCK. Let's hear your take on that one. What do you think that means?
Oh man, yeah. Well, hey, they're trying to. I think all of it is a little bit. It all symbolizes something. I think all the changes. I've been looking for some type of commonality in the changes, and it seems like there's not really a lot to find other than the fact that they all have a profound meaning, almost, especially the Bible changes. It baffles my mind. Like, I get shook up when I start thinking about the Bible changes because of there's a lot of stuff in the Bible about how the Bible will be changed in the end times, I think. And a lot of people have told me that, at least. And, you know, that's a scary thought that we could be in the end times, or that maybe this could mean that. What do you guys think about that, though? Do you think we are, or that?
Yeah, the Bible has...
No, we're not anywhere near the end times. The Mandela effect is going to go on for another 20 years.
Why do you think that?
I have insider information.
Interesting. Harmony, what do you think about the Dr. Richard Day video?
Dr. Richard Day, I maybe haven't seen it.
It's called like the New Barbarian or something. It's actually a doctor. I'm not sure what he's a doctor of. I think he's a Freemason. He's talking about a plan. This is like in the late 60s, I think. A plan to basically have the Mandela effects change what's in our Bibles. I mean, he couldn't be talking about anything else, because he said even the leaders of the churches will not only not see it, they'll go along with it, and they'll defend the changes for everyone else who's speaking out about them. It's like very specifically, he could only be talking about the Mandela effect Bible changes. Everyone type in Dr. Richard Day. I think that's new.
I think I heard that.
I've heard this.
It's old, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
it's old. Like,
yeah, it's from like the 60s, maybe early 70s. But it's been going around on the tubes, on the YouTubes. But I mean, we know a lot of what talking about Freemasons again, but you know, like, they are who is in charge. You can call them many different things. They go by many different names, but they do like to plan things out ahead of time, and this is one of them.
Just to be clear, the Freemason level 1 through 15 don't know crap. At the 15th level, you start to know stuff. You still don't know crap. You get to the 33, you really don't know. And then there's something like you go to your 90th degree. To go beyond the 33, you have to give allegiance to Satan and all that. So most Freemasons don't know anything about all the stuff that you know of. So if you meet someone, they say you're a Freemason, ask them what degree they are. If they're below the 15th, they're a nobody. They don't know anything. They're not usually evil.
Right.
They think it's a fraternity, and
they're the ones doing the charity work, which they do. I mean, they're like,
well, they hardly do any charity work if you really study it. It looks like they do charity work. They don't.
you can't be a front for Luciferianism without like looking like you're doing charity work, you know, or like fish fries or whatever people think they do. They're not doing that. Like they're not just good old boys. You
They
know
have
what?
some good fish though.
Somebody was saying that there's like in the Flintstones, there's like the Royal Order of the Water Buffalo. There's Freemasonry in the Flintstones. They
No,
have
it's everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere.
like those.
Mhm.
Well, basically, Meegs, to answer your question, at the risk of sounding completely insane, so y'all don't know me, but basically, I do have information that we have. It's accurate. They can move us back and forth between realities, and we've been moving back and forth, your whole life. You just don't know it. And that's how I explain the residue effect. So you take a newspaper writer, editor, and they write the TV guide or an article, and they don't have to fact check the word Berenstein or Berenstain Bears. They all know it's Beren. Now I'm getting that mixed up. Steen, and so they do their work on this reality, and their work stays here, and it gets published in the newspapers as Berenstain. But on this reality, it happens to be Berenstain, and then they get moved back to their reality. They continue doing their job, and nobody knows. They don't know, none the wiser. And so people are being moved back and forth, and they continue. If you get into the physics of it, it's quantum entanglement, and that's how you explain it on the physics level, so you can wrap your mind around it a little bit. I always tell people, if you want to understand this Mandela effect stuff, you have to get into the physics. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense, and it sounds a little crazy. But we've been moving back and forth, and the Freemason you're talking about knew about the project, the transport system, and the projects going on. There's many projects. Many projects. The largest participator in the project is the U.S. Army, is mainly behind it, and the U.S. Navy. They're the main proponents behind it, and they're working with the Freemasons, everybody else, and all these other stuff I don't even want to mention. And it's a huge operation. You can think of it as like a movie set, and they really do control all of reality, and they move us back and forth. And that's how they can know the future, and they know that when you're stuck on this world, the Bible's going to be different, and you're going to think it's changed, but no, the Bible's always been this way here.
That's why people have memories of the crazy verses that are in there now. People remember the wolf and the lamb. Like
because they grew up on this earth. That's why I call them natives. And it's always been that way for them. And that's why the preachers will go along within the pastors. And just like this guy said, and I really do think we're more of the minority in this group. I think the majority of the folks actually are natives and grew up here. And that's why so many people think we're nuts. Because think about it. What if we're on our old earth and I walked up to you and said, "Hey man, it's always been Luke, I'm your father," and no, I'm sorry, you're on your old earth. Someone walks up to you and goes, "Hey man, it's always been knowing your father." You're like, "What are you talking about? It's always been Luke. I know that. You're smoking crack, dude. Are you off your meds? Should I call the white coats?" Think about it. You would, these people, if you're on your old earth and one of these folks came into your world, they would sound insane to you, and you think they're nuts. You would think they have bad memory. You'd say you got confabulation. All the things they accuse us of, you would be accusing them of the same exact thing. So try putting that shoe on. Wear those shoes for a little bit. Walk around in it. Step outside the box. The Mandela effect people need to understand how crazy we sound because we are the minority and we're in another world, and they're the ones who are right. They have all the proof. Sure, we got some residue, but nobody cares about the residue. They just say, "Oh, somebody made a mistake." So what? I don't care. So what? Someone made a printing error. Really? No one's ever made a printing error in their whole life? Come on. I got all the proof. The majority of the proof's on their side. So think of it that way sometimes.
Right. It does appear that that's what's going on. Like that, there are two or more completely different realities for people. But I don't know. I struggle with that. Like, and it sounds like, the channel Bluebeard, it sounds like his story is lining up with what you're saying. What do you think about Bluebeard, Harmony?
Well, the key thing is he talks about some issues he had, and basically he describes one version of him as kind of like a dirtbag, and the other guy sounds like a good guy. So on one earth where he was more of a dirtbag, he didn't have these kids. But on the other earth, he was a good guy and had a different life, and he had these kids. So when he bounced into this reality, the dirtbag Bluebeard reality, he didn't have these kids. He's like, "Where the fuck are my kids?" Excuse my language. He's like, where are my kids?" Because I hear Bluebeard so much, you start cussing with them after a while.
I know. He's like a typical Australian. Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I don't have any personal knowledge of his story. I do know that based on my insider information and according to the laws of physics, his story is plausible. It can happen. It's a complete possibility.
Brian,
Well, I don't know who that is.
EYA says she's muted. She's muted.
You have to mute
She
her,
thinks
Brian.
it's on your side. She can't unmute herself.
It's not on my side. I'm not muting her.
No, we've had this problem before in my live stream.
Yeah, you might have to
Brian,
jump
can
out
you go
and
to
jump back
control room
in.
on the far
Sometimes
left?
that fixes
I
it.
can.
Go to control room and see if she's muted in the control room.
And try to take her volume all the way down and then back to middle. Sometimes that'll knock it out too. I've noticed.
Yeah, exactly. Turn the volume up and down. This is
okay.
it's
In
a
the
common
meantime-
problem we have.
In the meantime, this is actually a really good question from Mrs. Lamykins in the chat. She says, Harmony, is your insider info from aliens? Can you answer that vaguely or just straight up answer that in any way, or are you not allowed to?
Well, the answer is yes, but I don't want to take over and turn it into an alien show.
Yeah, that's interesting.
This is more of a Bible show, so.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. I do aliens all the time. Come over sometime. We'll talk aliens all night on my channel.
All right,
Sometime.
I talk about aliens on my channel too sometimes.
you know, right? Your form is more suited for that. I don't want to do this on Brian's channel.
Okay, yeah.
That's cool, man.
There's many different ideas of what aliens could actually be, and Christians have an idea too. But it's I don't know. It's interesting.
Oh, and just real quick.
They are real, though. Like they are real manifestations.
I don't know what's going on with Kat. We can't seem to get her mic working right now. I don't know what's going on. I'm not controlling that.
Yeah, it's Brian. It's Brian, that happens.
She said she'll jump back in.
Yeah, on almost every live stream I have, this happens.
How do I jump out and jump back in safely?
No, she'll jump out and jump back in.
Okay.
What it is last time this happened, it turned out to be a keyboard issue. There was something on the keyboard that the person pressed. I don't know if she's on a laptop or a desktop, but the person screwed up something on their keyboard, which muted their mic, and they didn't know it.
Oh gosh.
So it's on her end. It's not you. Is what I'm getting at.
You
UNIROCK. Is it UNIROCK or UNIROCK? Whatever.
I like it. Just however you want to say it. I'm not picky.
Yeah, and this goes for you and anybody who wants to contact me. I go through Skype, so just send a request to what can I tell you? So it's what can I tell you?
Hey,
Evan, if you do so.
What?
Oh, you're calling her.
Yeah. Evan, I wanted to add lyrics changes too, which I wanted to talk about that briefly. You did a video on the Doors.
Yeah, it used to say what were, now it says was. But I mean, a movie came out with Val Kilmer when I was a teenager, and it was at the same time, like right before we had Woodstock in the 90s. So I took an interest in like the whole hippie culture, just, you know, as a phase for one summer. And I listened to that song all summer long. And I hadn't heard it in a while. And I just decided to go check out some old music. And lo and behold, I heard the word was, and it was like screeching to my ears. You know, it stood out right away. And a lot of people want to disagree, but I know for a fact, I mean, there's some Mandela effects I'm really sure about. And I know what I was singing, and everyone would sing along with it. You know, we were in the car. This is when I was a teenager. So it was memorable for me, but it definitely changed.
Well, you know, since we're all on the topic of discussions and everything with song lyrics and Bible changes, I wanted to ask you, all of you, if you remember Weird Al's song, Amish Paradise.
Oh, yeah.
As I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife and realize she's very plain, but that's just perfect for an Amish like me. You know,
I've done fancy things like electricity.
You know what? Wait, how does it go?
You see, that's just perfect for an Amish like me. You see, shun fancy things like electricity, right?
For some reason, I remember we fancy things like electricity, and I could see them stomping on electronics. You know, I don't know why I remember it that way, but
how do you remember it again?
I know we shun fancy things like electricity. I thought it was like an Amish thing, not a Weird Al thing. But
oh, I don't know.
I could be wrong. What do you think, Evan?
I never heard the song.
Oh, okay. UNIROCK,
But back to that Bluebeard guy. You know, I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
I haven't seen his videos, but I've heard this a couple of times. Someone who's claiming that they had children in one reality. This is just something that anyone could say. I mean, he's not provided any proof. And the thing with the Mandela effect is, it's something that we're all experiencing it. Well, this is something we have one individual claiming, but we can't verify it.
Oh, I have a lot, dude.
We can verify the changes that we agree on. So that's how we know which ones are legitimate, is because it's not just my word. I remember it. Megan remembers it. Brian remembers it. We agree collectively. But when you have one person who says, I saw the light and here's what the Mandela effect is because I had children in one reality or the other, you're believing somebody's story.
Yeah.
With no proof.
Real quick here, this is Harmony. I have lots of those stories. I've been doing the Mandela effect for a couple of years now. Well, actually, I've been studying for many years. He's not alone. I have at least 10 people that have the same story. But you're right that we didn't personally experience it and we don't know. And just because he experienced something does not mean he knows what's going on. I've listened to him and he does not understand what's going on. He has no explanation. He doesn't understand the technology. He doesn't know what happened. I've tried contacting him on many occasions. So I mean, if I got one-on-one on the phone with him, you know, I could tell him some really good classified information that I'm not going to go public with. But I mean, I can explain his whole story and help the guy out, but I can't get hold of him.
He's easy to get a hold of. I don't want to go into it.
Yeah, he's not alone. I got a lot of stories.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm still trying.
If you make him mad, you can get a hold of him real easy.
Oh, you can? Oh, well, he doesn't answer me. But
he doesn't like me. I don't know. I don't know what I did to him. I did something to him and some other guy, and they hate me now. It's okay. That happens.
Well, I should say I tried contacting Bluebeard, the old Bluebeard, according to his story. Maybe I should try contacting him today. He'll probably answer me.
Yeah.
Since it's a different Bluebeard after all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, I never thought
He kind of sounds like a bird there.
No, dude, I got people contacting me, telling me stories that they met the other version of me. I mean, those are some pretty bizarre stories. You know.
Yeah, in the end, like each individual story, whether we know it's true, like legit or not, paints a picture and helps us, you know, get another piece of this riddle, you know. But there is, you know, that being said, there is, you know, a lot of deception going on too, because there can really, I mean, there can only be one answer, right? Can we agree?
No. That's the problem.
There can only be one cause of the Mandela.
No, there's not one answer. It's multiple. Think of it this way. It's like you look at Earth and you say, oh, there's just one answer here. No, there's all different kind of countries. There's states. There's people in the country. There's all different agendas, purposes, wishes, desires, you know, you name it, on just the Earth alone. And then try to expand that out into the universe. It gets very convoluted, very complicated, very, very intense. And you can lose your sanity over it. I'm telling you. You think the Mandela effect is bad? Wait till you get in contact with the universe and become one with it and start communicating with all these beings in the universe. And then, God forbid, you have the joy of meeting them in person like I have. That's always fun.
Well, Harmony, while we got you here, brother, I wanted to ask you about these sixes. What is up with these sixes that we're seeing in all these logos? Saturn, Baal, Satan.
Well, if you go with the Bible, 666 is just the sign of man.
I know I read up on it. It's supposed to be like a symbol. 6 is a symbol of imperfection, and I guess 666 is like an amplified version of it.
Yeah. Well, 12.
It's the mark. Wait, it's the mark of the beast.
Yeah. Well, anyway, 666. If you add the 6 and the 6, you get 12, and then 1 and 2 is 3. What's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9? It comes up with 9. Is that right? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. I know.
Comes
I'm
up,
being like.
it comes up to the number 9. So the 666 is the symbol of man. If you take the 6 and the 6 and 6 add together, you get 18, and then the 8 plus the 1 equals 9. So the 9 is the limiting factor. If you study my physics, it's the limiting factor in the universe. And I explain the 33 degrees. I explain the symbols. I go into the Aleister Crowley stuff. I compare it all to the Bible. I say, here's the Bible verse. Here's the physics. Here's the Bible verse. Here's the physics. If you go to any of my videos, you can download the paper. It's a little messy. It's called The Throne of God. And I explain all the physics. And basically, they're all trying to break free from the 9th dimension. They want to get into the 10th dimension and break free. So 666, the sign of man, the limiting factor is 9. And they're actually, if you really study all the Freemason Illuminati stuff over and over again, they're actually describing how they are limited and they're trapped and they've hit a brick wall. So here, I'll just give you classified information. They hit a brick wall. Their technology can only go so far in physics. And they hit a wall. To go beyond the 9th dimension, you have to go into the spiritual realm. You have to be a pure benevolent being. They can't get there because they're not benevolent beings. They're not of that frequency. They can't get into that realm. So they're desperately trying to break into the 10th dimension because they think they're going to free themselves. The problem is that every time they do that, and I explain this in my paper, they're actually reverbing back off because the universe rejects them, and they dig themselves deeper into a hole, and they keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper in the hole. They think they're escaping, but they're not going anywhere. They're just digging themselves into they're creating different subspace, different realities, different dimensions, and they're just going down the rabbit hole into a big pit. And there's nothing down there. And they're stuck and they're trapped and they're all running scared. They're frightened. They're afraid that the humanity is going to wake up. And if enough people wake up, we will instantly take back control of this place. And to be honest, they all run around and they're terrified.
Well, to be quite honest with you, I think it's best we wake everyone up. That's what I'm thinking. We can fight the enemy.
Well, yeah.
We can fight the system. We can beat the beast system. You know we can.
I know we can. That's what my group does.
So do you write comic books or sci-fi? Because all of that to me is a big explanation that is completely imaginary. I don't see any proof. I mean, this is just an idea. This is someone saying they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this.
And you know what? I'll just say you're right. In a debate, you're right.
But we don't know that they're doing any of that.
No, you don't.
The only solid thing that we can physically go by is what we could observe. We can see that changes are happening. We all agree upon it. And then beyond that, there's people's theories, but you can't run with the
Okay, so there's this, you're sitting in a home and there's 4 walls around your roof and you're sitting on the couch. You notice all these Mandela effects. You got all these facts that you can see, touch, and taste. Now what are you going to do about it? What's your plan? How you want to change the world?
Well, I'm preparing for a financial collapse of the system, a whole new world order, a sort of a new satanic takeover, a biblical Armageddon. All of the things that I expect to shortly experience in the future. I don't know when, but I know that the signs are happened. So the clock has started. The clock is ticking.
I agree with Evin.
Okay, so are you going to just sit around and chit chat about it all day long, or do you want to do something about it? What are you going to do?
Well, my whole message that I'm trying to spread to others is that they need to accept God and seek after what His will is, so that when this happens, they'll be prepared spiritually.
Right.
They'll be prepared. And it's about building rewards in heaven. I really don't care about this planet. I mean, this is going to all be gone. I care about my eternity. So I'm just trying to open other people's minds to, hey, something's going on. It's time to, it's time to take it seriously.
Well, Evin, I must say
that's a great idea.
You've woken me up and several others, thousands of others. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
I totally agree with everything you're saying. So what my group does is take it one step further and say, you know, what does the Bible say? Hopefully it still says this, you know, be a pillar of light unto the world, right?
Let your light shine.
Yeah. So we let our light shine and wake up others, and we all start glowing and spreading that, you know, pure God energy all throughout this place. And as the Bible says, a new heaven will come upon the earth, and we want to help bring that new heaven onto the earth, right?
And I'm trying to bring people to Jesus.
Same thing, Meegs, same thing.
Well, Meegs, I must say, I love how you get all dramatic in your videos. It's really awesome. I mean, I think you get all into it and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's a very, man, I mean, it's fun to like blow off steam and like joke about it sometimes, but like, man, I mean, it is very serious. Like, I don't ever mean to downplay the seriousness of this. It is a dire situation. It's a very dire situation. It's hard not to be like controversial on here because there's very different opposing viewpoints, and that's
Meegs, we all know you be controversial. Come on, be yourself, Meegs.
But I mean, even like from what I'm hearing from a lot of like my quote unquote new age friends is like we're going to have to come to a point, we're going to have to make a decision, choose positivity now or choose negativity. And I'm just putting my spin on that. As a Christian, as a born again Christian, I'm saying it's either a time to choose Jesus or Satan. You can think of that however you want. I think, you know, it's time for people to accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, because I think the stuff in Revelations is going to start happening soon. And, you know, there's just more than enough. As an atheist, like that's how I was able to like retain my brain through the Mandela effect changes, is to find Jesus. So anyway, so that if you want to read that as being positivity or whatever, but that's that's what I'm trying to do in my videos.
That's how I look at it, definitely.
Yeah.
I know it. I
look at it as we all should go against negativity. So go ahead, Brian. No, you're fine, man.
I read in Luke talking about Tyre and Sidon. You guys know what happened over there, right? In the Bible, they got burned up, scorched.
Tyre and Sidon, like the names changed.
Yes. Well,
wait, you mean it's not Sodom and Gomorrah? What?
Well, Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed too, for reasons.
Yeah, we all know that. But what else got destroyed?
But Tyre and Sidon got destroyed too. They didn't repent. So I think we're in a time that we need to make a conscious decision to turn to love and not hate.
Mm-hmm.
At least if you're not Christian. But if you are, don't just go about your daily lives. Going through the motions. Help people out. Be a good brother. You see someone on the street, help them out. Be the best you can be, is all I'm saying. And the Mandela effect is meant to be, I think, is a wake-up call to a lot of folks.
Absolutely. And the way I think of it is like, I'm so glad someone woke me up. It wasn't me on my own. I'm so thankful that someone took a chance, like, to risk their own, like, social standing. Because as we all know, it's very socially risky to bring up the Mandela effect. It could either go very, very well or very, very horribly. And you could like forever be thought of like a total like dummy / someone candidate for the funny. But yeah, I mean, so someone took a chance and told me, and that changed my life, I think, for the better. So I try, I think it's easy to be like lazy and just keep certain truths to yourself and like feel like higher than someone else, or like feel like you have secret knowledge and like, why should I share this with anyone else? But I think like, I mean, maybe that, I don't know, that's how I feel like I used to be, but with this, it's completely different. I think lives actually depend on it now. So, I actually make it a point to live my life to try to tell people about this. And my truth is Jesus Christ. So I think lives depend on it,
But I want to say something else real briefly. I really think we need to hang on to our memories and what we have currently, because it's going to change. But we need to hang on to those memories.
Well, I agree with you. I just think that like there's so much of us that don't get mad enough. Like, I think you can get fired up without being negative and just say like, you know, we got to take this back somehow. I don't know how. I don't know what the next step is, because I've been trying to do the same thing. I spread the knowledge, spread the word, be positive in everything I do, never entertain negativity. But there has to be some step that can be taken to kind of grab a hold and maintain those things that were so important to us that have changed, you know?
Well, there is.
Yeah.
There
Guys,
is.
I gotta run. I hate to cut it short, but my dog is sitting here waiting for her walk. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I'm gonna go ahead and hop offline.
Okay, Evan. Thanks
Nice
for
to meet you, Evan.
Thanks for the T-shirt, Evan.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Oh, no
I'll
problem.
tell you how it goes on the
Evan,
street.
if you send me a link and I'll post it in the comments, or if you want to post it, that's fine.
No, I might make a video tonight, a brief one, and I'll try to get it posted tonight on some of the stuff I wanted to show you guys. But
Awesome.
Wait, is this Evan
great
Powers?
chat. Powers.
Oh, I have seen your videos. Hey, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your comments, and you have a good night.
Yeah,
All
good
right,
night,
guys.
Evan.
Have a good night.
God bless you, brother.
You too. Thanks, man.
Bye.
Isn't he the one that put out a challenge to talk about the Mandela effect, debate him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think-
yeah. I
so.
answered his challenge and I invited him on my show. I was like, yeah, I'd love to have a debate with you. I didn't realize that was him till a minute ago.
Oh man. Has anybody done a Mandela effect meetup yet? Like in real life?
Apparently, we're gonna have
Talking
one.
about it.
San Diego had one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, San Diego had one.
Wow.
I'm in Dallas. We're scheduling one in Dallas. Because I don't know if I should say people's names, but there's two YouTubers. If I said their names, you know them. That live within 30 minutes of me.
Hmm.
But I don't want to give out their locations. Well, one of them. Okay, well, Scarborough.
Well,
I'm in the deep of the heart of Texas, so. Scarab Performance. Excuse me.
Is that where the stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas?
They are bright. I'm telling you, man. They look like UFOs to me.
I'd like to see where the stars went. I don't see them much anymore.
Where you at?
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Oh, too much light pollution.
They're not as bright over here.
Oh, well, they're bright here. I'll tell you that.
I haven't seen the moon around for a couple nights now.
Oh, he'll show up. He'll say hello to you. Don't worry.
The moonlight's coming out in the morning now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you were supposed to talk about that because I was really interested in that. The moon changes or different things about the moon that have been happening lately.
Yeah, we were talking about that on your channel the other day. In fact, you had a pretty nice image you had pulled up where you could rotate the moon, and you rotated it out of the way we remembered it. Do you have that?
Yeah, for sure. Let me get it loaded up here.
Yeah, but when you screen share, don't give away the Google Hangout.
I don't screen share anymore.
You did that on Dr. Lupo's show. That was a riot.
Oh yeah, I've changed it all to completely changed my interface now.
Yeah, is the Mandela effect community hated more than the KKK now? Like,
it must be. It seems like.
Why do people hate us so much?
It's probably because
anyone.
It's probably because.
What?
I want to say it's probably because there's so much misinformation out there, and just people like just putting out videos, and I guess they're trying to get famous. You know, I'm not out for fame. I
think the government still trying to shut us down. They won't talk about it.
Meegs, they are.
Yeah.
I'll just.
Right.
Shit, should I say this? No, I can't say this on air.
They have stock accounts.
Go ahead, bro. Do it.
Do it. Peer pressure.
Well, now I'll tell you in person because what I'm about to say can put me in Leavenworth for 7 years. So, Meegs, I'll tell you personally.
Okay.
Contact me on Skype. What can I tell you?
I'm sure there's like companies like Monsanto hires their own and like.
Well, I'll tell you the okay, the unclassified version. I'll tell you the unclassified. Everybody talks about how there's paid trolls, right?
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's real. Just trust me, it's real. And I've read the manual.
Wow. Yeah, it's. I mean, there's no reason for so many people to be so hostile, and then for there to be absolutely zero media coverage of the Mandela effect. There is no.
Yeah.
Vice covered it like for a second, and then they just laughed it off. It's never gonna be in the news unless they're laughing at it and calling it fake.
All right, there's
We
only
show. Listen.
here, I'll go. I'll step out of the bounds. There's only 52 people watching. Probably only 300 will catch up on this. But anyway, the manual is put out by the CIA. It's a psychological warfare manual. It is a war manual, and it's classified top secret.
Oh, I believe it. I've heard of that. Exactly.
They have different. If you fall back in the day, I called these trolls out. I didn't make these comments public, but I was like, that's page 10, that's page 12, that's page 15, paragraph 24. Can you please go to page 26 and up your game? Oh, they upped their game, all right. I was calling the manual out on these guys. I had fun with these trolls. I even had 2 trolls contact me on my phone and said, hey, just want to let you know I'm a paid troll, but you're the real deal, so I'm going to leave you alone. I actually had 2 paid trolls contact me.
Yeah, we had when I left that hangout link up, it was up for like a fraction of a second too. So they were really trying. Whoever that hacked our, our hangout, they were really trying hard because they only had a brief second. They went back and screenshot it or whatever.
Oh, it's not hard.
They go to great lengths. Oh, for sure. But they just go to great lengths to make sure they can. They had to have been watching when it first went by though, so to even know it was there.
Well,
so.
Let me ask you guys this: why is it when Obama, remember that clearly, like back in 2009 or 2010, why did Obama hire like some of the best hackers in the world? I'm trying to remember why. You remember that?
Say that again.
Obama hired some of the top hackers in the world back in like 2009 or 2010. Do you guys remember that?
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like stuff they put out to, like, did you read that in an article on like CNN or something?
Ben, what's your point to it? You want to know why he did?
Yeah, I mean, I want to know why he did that. I mean, and he also
well, everybody knows that we have hackers. Come on, he's making a statement to the world. Don't mess with us. We're gonna get you. It was a statement. We have so many hackers. Obama didn't hire 10 hackers or whatever. No, come on, he's making a statement. How many hackers did he see? Yeah, how many again?
I don't remember the exact number.
Well, the number is numerology and symbolic, and it was a statement. If you knew the number, I could analyze it for you. But it was a symbolic statement to the world. Don't mess with us.
Yeah, there were some.
Go ahead.
Don't mess
with
Texas.
There were some discussion questions we were going to go over some more about.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. You cut out on that last part. I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
How many of you guys ever remember the 9/11 Hurricane Aaron? I know I brought this up before earlier in the chat, but we had like probably half as many people as we have now. How many people remember that 9/11 Hurricane Aaron?
Absolutely not.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
You mean when you're talking about when it flooded New York?
No, I think no. This is like during 9/11/01. There was Hurricane Aaron that barely grazed the coast, and there was like a cold front that just happened to push it away.
Well, that wasn't back. I know we recently had one of those, like in the last year.
Yeah, I'm talking about in
I don't remember back then. I remember we had one of those like within the last year, but not back then. I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember 2005 we had when was Katrina? I'm trying to remember. That was around that time, 2004 maybe. But 2005 we had some real bad hurricanes.
They're all controlled. We use submarines and HARP. Our submarines are outfitted with HARP technology.
Let's see. Is there anyone in the chat that wants to talk about Mandela effects? Anyone that
Oh, a few of my viewers are in there. They gotta want to call in. Salted Cedar, Charlene. Any of you guys want to talk about Mandela effect, guys? Let us know. Come on. Let me ask them and type it in.
Yeah. While we're waiting on that, I just want to with you guys something I've been working on. Just hang on, let me show you real quick. Okay, this is what I've been working on. It's just a little side project I've been doing here to kind of keep tabs on Bible verses and such. I know it kind of resembles. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a website that's doing this too. I don't know if you heard about it.
I haven't heard about it. No.
Yeah, they're
like,
reconstructing the entire Bible.
Well, I'm not reconstructing the Bible. No, I'm doing word for word, King James. This is powerful verses, verse summaries, concordance. I know it kind of looks like something out of Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, Kat has a PDF like that too with a bunch of the Bible changes that our friend Valerie made.
Yeah.
I think it was Valerie. In the description box of this video, I'll have to get a link to it because it's really interesting. She's trying to cover like every single change as we find them. There's quite a few.
That's right. That's right. And we have to have some kind of Bible that we can rely on, because if they're all getting corrupted, what's next? Right. I mean, what are we supposed to believe? I mean,
right. That's the most disturbing. I'm so disturbed by it because I never got to read the whole thing all the way through, and now it's like, and I had a chance to, and a lot of other people are feeling that too. Like, okay, now it's disappearing. Like, now what are we supposed to do? And that's exactly what Amos 8:11 says. That God will send a famine in the land, not of bread or water, but of the word of God. And, because people didn't care. That's what it says in the book. People didn't care about the word of God.
That's the big thing. I think magic, they're using some sort of evil magic here. And I don't know if you guys.
It's high witchcraft.
Speaking of witchcraft.
Yeah.
It's worse than witchcraft, Meegs.
Yeah.
Rena wants to call in, Brian. Rena said she would, if we can do it soon. She said she has to go to work, but she'll call in.
Okay. Let me hold on. Let me get Sideline up here.
Are you using a computer program when you do that?
I'm using Sideline.
I do call-ins with Google Voice. It works really well. I want to try Sidelines. I've never heard of it. I'm going to write that down.
It gives you a separate phone number. It's pretty neat. That way I'm not giving out my real number. It's going to take me a second. But real quick, I wanted to ask you guys about two topics. The Salem witches were never burned, and flesh-colored crayons.
That's bizarre.
What was the last one?
It really is.
Flesh-colored crayons. You guys remember seeing those flesh-colored crayons?
Yeah.
And supposedly they did away with them in the 60s for racial reasons, but for some reason, like, people were able to buy them in the 80s and 90s. That's weird.
Yeah.
Even in the 80s and 90s. And about Salem witches, they were never burned. You remember that?
Oh,
well,
yeah.
They do.
I remember them being burned, but not here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I think it's.
Did they throw them in a river or something, or?
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
I wonder if they still floated. I wonder if they put them in water and see if they floated.
There you go.
We waterboarded them in reality at one time of the day.
Yeah. We tortured them.
That's crazy though. Everybody knows the Salem witches were burned at the stake or whatever. That's you just know.
How many movies have we seen of that? Come on.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah.
But it's like
sure.
it's like those little listicles thing that pop up on Facebook. It's like, did you know? You don't really know what you know. You think you know.
Yeah. You know?
You see an article about it, like, did you know like Salem witches weren't actually burned at the stake, and you see it in writing, and it's like some kind of like mind control where you just accept it. If you know how that works. Like if you see it in writing, like it's actually this way. Like we're telling you it's this way, so it's like you just accept it. That's how this whole Mandela effect has been working. People that don't see it, they just don't. It's like a matter of using critical thinking and being like, wait a minute, I'm not gonna believe this Facebook listicle. I'm going to challenge. I don't know.
I hate those Facebook things too. I don't know. Facebook bothers me. I use it, but
you talking about the Facebook groups or what?
The lists they send out on Facebook and stuff, and all those chain letters that they send out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if there have been any Mandela effect little chain letters going around. Someone needs to start one. I bet it'd go far.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, sometimes I'm literally only on Facebook to like get updates of changes, like mostly Bible changes. Otherwise, I know they're using it to like mess with our heads and see like what gives us depression. They're talking about like Facebook brain interface now, where you can upload content using your brain. That's what Mark Zuckerberg literally said in an article recently. Talking about a brain interface technology. No, thank you. I don't want that. Something in my brain.
Oh, they're trying. We could go into technology forever because there's so many strange technologies being introduced by Google. I can't wait to get my Google glasses, though. I'm going to order a pair of those soon.
Yeah, I think like it's my personal opinion that I don't actually believe in the multiple dimensions because it's not biblical, and in my opinion. But I do believe that our memories could be manipulated through electromagnetic waves or ELF waves.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's why so many people are ignorant now. Maybe they just don't have the time to look at it, or maybe they just don't care.
Well, that's also part of the system we're in, right? That has been set up to make us slaves to basically you have to pay to survive, to live. You have to pay to live in this world. We're like a big like work camp. This world is one big like labor camp, really, because you can't just like people are too busy to even care that their world is changing, like their reality is changing, and people are too busy to care. Like that's the world.
Look at the way the time has sped up. You guys notice the time is sped up. If you count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, you've already gone to 5 seconds already, or 4 seconds.
Hey, Brian, real quick, Brian, I got to take a 10-minute break. I'll be back, just letting you know.
Sure, Harmony. No problem, brother.
All right. I'll be back in 10.
Yeah, but nobody seems to worry about the time speeding up. Our digestive system has changed. I noticed back in October, like my stomach was all upset. Huh?
What did you notice about the digestive system?
Yes. I had some real bad digestive problems around October, I would say. And that's round about the time I noticed Hershey changed from Hershey to Hershey's. But I don't know what do you guys remember with Hershey's or Hershey?
It has to be Hershey's. Hershey's, yeah.
That's what you remember?
Hershey's Kiss.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh man, I remember Hershey Kisses.
Oh.
But the R definitely changed.
I'm thinking of the Hershey's bar, but it was always Hershey Kisses.
I don't know. I know none of that really matters,
Yeah, but it's interesting because maybe that will be the thing that wakes someone up. Maybe that will be like one of the things that brings someone into the Mandela effect. So they're all worth talking about.
Yes. That's like the doubting Thomas. Everybody's pretty much a doubting Thomas these days, and you have to show them the proof.
Yeah.
They want to see truth, and we're here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
did we finish? I kind of want to talk about the North Pole, but I'm not sure if we finished the topics that we were discussing before.
I love Antarctica is one of my favorite topics. The South Pole. I love the North Pole too, but
yeah,
fascinating.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Meegs. You can talk about the North Pole. It's interesting how like Santa is in the middle of the water now. Like he lives in the water.
Yeah, and okay, yeah. So I saw a comment that was like, yeah, ever since I was a kid, I knew like Santa. I knew the story about Santa living at the North Pole, you know, but I always thought that was weird as a kid because isn't the North Pole underwater? That was a comment someone wrote, and I'm like, oh my gosh, people really do have totally split memories now of the North Pole. And this is one of the craziest things to try to bring to people, because to me, ain't nothing gonna wake someone up like the North Pole not being there anymore. Like the polar ice cap of the North Pole not being in there anymore. I'm like, that's gonna let us know whether you're from reality A or reality B. I think it's all the same reality. I think they're messing with our memories somehow, nanotechnology. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, the North Pole is very divisive. And so when I ask people like what they remember, I say, hey, I'm doing a research project. And I don't even preface it like it's a conspiracy theory, because it's not a conspiracy theory. But I preface it like I'm doing a research project. Can you describe the North Pole to me in detail? Can you describe what you remember? And it will be such a struggle. Like people just don't know. And I'm just like, is this, because it's one of the biggest effects. I mean, I think the Bible changes are the biggest effect, but like the North Pole not being there.
It's a big one.
It's a pretty darn big one. And it's like across the board for me. I'll talk to really intelligent people about it, people that have gone through years of schooling and whatever. They do not have, it's like they don't know about the North Pole. They don't know they can't even talk, there's the map. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's gone. And so a lot of people will actually describe that there was a mass of ice. They remember that. And they're like, isn't that where Santa Claus lived? And they remember it as physical land mass. Or some say land, some say ice. It's really thick ice. And then, I'll say, yeah, and it's not on any maps anymore. You can check it. Even on a globe I have as a kid, it's not there anymore. And they will, I mean, I've taken this to pretty close to like 10 people now. And it's like every time I say that, I can see either they get the update and they're like, oh yeah, it's like it gets icy in the winter and then it melts in the summer. Or they will, it's like they'll get that update later, or they just will glitch out so much that they don't want to talk about it anymore. Or it's like straight to the next subject. So it's like not one person have I asked like shares my memory of it and also gets upset like I do. Like no, not even one person cares.
I get upset. I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and it's driving me crazy because I know that there used to be a mass right here that's similar to the South Pole right here. I mean, look at the South Pole. It's right around here. And then I remember it being, I want to say even bigger on the North Pole, but I mean, it could have not been. But yeah, a lot of people will say Greenland and say, oh, that's the North Pole. No, that's Greenland.
Exactly.
So yeah, it should be here somewhere.
Yeah.
Look how deep that water is right there. The water's really deep too, because the darker the blue it is, the deeper it is.
Right. And so, like people see that mass of ice like Greenland, and they're like, I think in their heads they think, oh, that must be the white mass I remember at the top of the world. And like it just melted a little bit because of global warming. And I think people don't really think about it. But it's like, can you believe that we could have educated people that go through like years and years and years of higher education? Some people I've even talked to have like PhDs, and they can't tell me what's at the top of the world. Like they can't tell me what's like what they ever thought about the North Pole. Like they just don't have that information. And I'm not saying that to like shame anyone. I'm just saying like, what are we going to college for if we can't even like talk, like be certain about like the polar ice caps being, it's like, what is that? And then people don't care. Like, people
Yeah, no, the
think I'm silly for even bringing it up.
the North Pole, even when you search it, instead of bringing up the actual North Pole, will bring up a city in Alaska, and it'll bring up all these other things. But you can go to the wiki article and find it, and it is just right in the center of a big mass of water. And I'm telling you, as long as I was in school, I saw it with my own eyes. A million globes in classrooms that had a white landmass, just like the South Pole at the top. So how does this make
remember.
sense?
I'm so glad you
remember.
remember. Yes. Yes.
And it looks like Greenland used to go right here. It looks like it moved. Because if you take Greenland and you just kind of turn it a little bit, then you'll get, if you look right here, it looks like there's a spot, this blue spot, where Greenland would have fit in. It's so strange.
Right. Yeah, it was like much bigger than Greenland, but not as big as the South Pole, the Antarctica. It was, and we have somebody in the chat saying that, and I've heard this many times. This documentary exists of Prince Harry visiting the North Pole, going on a hike, and now apparently he went to the South Pole.
A lot. There's actually there's a base on the South Pole that is named after Queen.
Queen Maud.
I forget which queen. So there's a queen base that's like a whole base by the UK. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and then there's like the Rockefeller Plateau, like all these like Illuminati place names in Antarctica. Like,
oh yeah,
of course there would be. Anyway,
we did a huge live stream on these. We have an old map of. I'll try to look for it, but I've got so many files. I don't know if I'll find it, but yeah, we have an old map of the South Pole. This says all these names, and they're so spooky. It's the only way to describe it.
Definitely. Yeah, it's just bizarre because again, that's like one of the biggest effects for me besides the Bible changes and the body changes. The North Pole, the polar ice cap isn't there. And I think Life Matrix actually found residual for like major residual for that on newspapers.google.something.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. He found that George Bush and many other, I don't know, politicians, Al Gore, mentioned polar ice caps,
Melting.
plural.
Yes, I remember the polar ice caps melting.
You do?
I remember them talking about that. I'm from that time zone, or from that reality.
Yeah, the scare. Yeah.
You can find residual right now today. It's not that hard of where they say there's an ice cap up there, and they talk about how it's receding, and you can see all the reports. I'm like, okay, I just don't know what the hell's up there, man. Is there ice or not? I'm not going to hop on an airplane and go look. I just would like to know. Is there an ice cap? Is it gone? I seriously can't figure it out. I'm like, you know, is Google Earth just not showing ice, and there really is ice out there? I mean, I just don't know, man.
Well,
anyway, it's a joke. Insider information. There's no ice cap at the North Pole.
Yeah, I'm sure there's not. Yeah,
there's not one. No, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Well,
it never existed.
I have a caller on the line. Her name is Story. She's from our chat. She's one of my biggest fans, and she has some questions she would like to ask or bring to the table. Story, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Story. How you doing?
Hey, Story.
Hey, good.
Hopefully, I answered you in the chat room.
Hold on, Harmony.
Support. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you guys hear her?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just appreciate that. Like-minded people. Some I wanted to point out to Meegs that I had told some other people. It kind of just came to me, but I probably won't word it exactly right, but it's not. I thought about it, and it's logos that are changing. These are logos. Well, if you look at the definition of the logo, it's like Christ, before he was incarnated, was the logos capitalized. If you look up the definition, it shows so much more, though. And I think maybe them altering that could be like trying to alter him out, right? Ooh. And then I also believe that Mandela, it sounds an awful lot like Mandela, which is like what the Buddhists and stuff used to, create like a sigil to do like ritual to like alter the cosmos and the universe and things like that. That's what the definition is of it. And what I believe is that all of these sacrifices, like things like 9/11, Sandy Hook, just things like that, are being done on certain ley lines that are maybe casting some kind of like pentagrams, and they're doing these great big things to pull off these kind of magic like changes.
They
and
are.
I think that it's possible that CERN could be trying to make everybody think that science is doing it, when in actuality it's more of a spiritual warfare thing.
Correct.
Yeah. Amen.
I think so too. I think there's a significance with the number 6. They're definitely trying to show us something. And guess what? Guess what the 6th planet is?
Mars,
Saturn.
Saturn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They love Saturn. The elites love. Oh, they love Saturn.
You don't have to worry about Saturn anymore.
It's gone.
That's good to hear,
That's
because
good.
I wanted to say too that I see both sides when y'all are both talking, because
Yeah.
I've seen. I'm going to say really quickly that I've learned over so much time that the Bible's so deep, and as you learn and grow, you see more and more in it, and it gets deeper and deeper. And what I'm saying is that Revelation is like literal, but also if you Edgar Casey claims that if you read it with like Grey's Anatomy as a guide, that it's like it's like about the body's spiritual development, and it. Like the earthquakes and the thunder would be like vibrations, like out-of-body experiences. I think a lot of the experiences the people had in the Bible, they were in altered states of consciousness.
Right.
And I've just learned so much, and I think everybody's right. I think that they said in the Bible it says that there'd be a new. He's gone to prepare a place for us, a new heaven, a new earth, and the other side talking about the earth splitting into two, and reality 1 and 2, the one that's positive and the one that ascends, and
The split.
To say that the ascension and the rapture aren't the same thing, and maybe it's not. Maybe who's to say what a twinkling of an eye? I mean, a year is a day is like a 7 days is like 7 years or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that. I guess that's really all I wanted to say, was trying to get my perspective out there. And the last thing I want to say is I made my only little Mandela effect video, and no one got what I was saying. I walked in the house one day, my little girl was watching a movie, and it was on the closed caption. And right when I walked in, which I don't believe that there's any, well, I believe in coincidences, and they try to block us by making us say I don't. But when I watched coincidences between me and God, and I walked in and it said it was 10 things I hate about you, and there was a character in there named Mandela, and
Wow.
it says to her, "Oh, Mandela, I hope you're not trying to make it something about mass delusion." And what I think is it was like predictive programming to try to make us think we're delusional.
Yes.
Right. You're so dead on. I hear you have to run, but we need to talk to you some more.
Yeah, you're blowing my mind right now with the logos connection, like the Word of God, Jesus being the Word of God, to the logos.
Oh, you can get back to the Greek and all that. There's a guy who does an excellent video on that. So yeah, you're so dead on.
I didn't even think about that. Wonderful.
Yeah, Story, did you have any other questions you want to ask?
We'll share those things with y'all, and I thought that maybe, I know it sounds dumb, but maybe y'all are a little smarter and more well-versed than me on it. Maybe you could take it and get something from it. Might help some solving the puzzle, that's all.
Well, you did an excellent
and
job.
like they were pointing out in the chat that, like CERN, and we're concerned about it, and discernment in nursing, like this is difficult. CERN and mint is mental. And I think that there's just a lot more etymology than everybody knows, like what the words mean, the word.
Oh, there is.
But
Spells are casting.
And y'all carry on, and I'm going to keep listening, okay? I love y'all.
Yes, ma'am. We love you too.
We love
Thank
you
you,
too, Story.
Well, story, yeah, we need to talk to you some more. I love what you had to say. That was awesome. So thank
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
she was very
very good thoughts.
for popping in.
We have another caller, Rena. Rena, you there?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
Okay, good. Since I don't know how my phone's going to react.
Oh, it's okay.
It's perfect.
Welcome
Cool.
aboard.
Thanks. Yeah, I thought I'd just call and say hi. Really enjoying the show so far. It's awesome.
Yay!
Thank you.
So, I don't know. I guess I wanted to say this or ask: have you guys seen logos change before your eyes?
Yes.
Wow, which one?
If you catch a shift in motion, you can see words change before you. You can be reading your Bible and the words will begin to fade out on you. If you're in the middle of a shift while you're reading your Bible, you'll literally see words fade out and change before your eyes. But it's pretty rare to catch a shift moment. You just it's pure luck. You have to be right time, right moment. But I talk to thousands of people, and I have lots of data, a lot of these reports, and I've experienced it myself personally. So.
Me
Stacy
too.
in the chat says my. Oh, go ahead.
You're like, what?
Oh. I'm sorry.
Can you say that again?
No, what'd you say? You said something about the chat?
She
Me?
cut out.
Yeah, there might be a little delay. I'm sorry.
There's a 20-second delay from when you speak and it goes live. You know that, right? Every time you speak, there's a 20-second delay before it goes live.
Stacy C said her Bible changed overnight in the chat. That's interesting.
I know that's so insane. And we're seeing a lot of synchronicities. I mean, that's what I meant to say. It's a hard word to pronounce sometimes, but how many of you like hear a song or somebody talking about it and then you hear it later? Do you guys ever have that happen? Synchronicities?
Oh,
Yeah.
I had one the other day. It was I was listening to Alan Jackson Freight Train, and at one point in the song he says, you have to shovel for the coal." And right as he said the word shovel, I had this vehicle pass me that had all these shovels on the back. You gotta be kidding me right now. Really? What's the point of that? I don't get it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. My craziest one was when I just saw the geography changes video about Australia being moved up. It was either Lone Eagle or Nobleness D. And then my friend who I hadn't spoken to in a really long time, it was weird that this person was texting me. They texted, "So what was that Australian movie that you were telling me about?" "Oh, he died with a falafel in his hand." Like this random person texted me about Australia just as I was looking at the Australian Mandela effect geography change. I had to throw my phone across the room. I was like, "Oh!" Like, what is that?
That's amazing.
It was like the pinpoint that I was looking at it. So I was like, "We're watching you. Someone's watching you." But I don't know. I do believe in that there is very real magic that goes on. There's occult magic that goes on. I don't know how it works. I don't know. I know it exists though, and I know that stuff like Gangstalking is real, and like that can you can have these synchronicities happen.
Meegs, I have to stop you on Gangstalking. That's really rare. It's real, but it's a small segment of the population.
Yeah.
90% of the people do not need to hear about Gangstalking, and they should erase it from the vocabulary. It applies to only 10% of the population, and if you are that 10%, you're listening, contact me directly. I know how to deal with Gangstalking, but don't talk about Gangstalking.
What is that though? I've never.
We don't
heard
want to talk about.
it,
I'll tell you personally. But Gangstalking is something we do not want to be talking about on a YouTube channel live, because it's such a small segment and it's a fear and a terror factor. It creates fear and terror into people which is completely unfounded and unnecessary, and it's not something they need to worry about. And I am speaking from a classified level. So if you're that 10%, contact me. That's all.
Yeah, I agree with that, Harmony, and I don't think nobody needs to be worried about it. But a lot of people say that there is like a spiritual aspect to it as well, like a dark spiritual energy that goes with it.
That's different. That's different. Those are two different things. Gangstalking is physical beings. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what you're talking about is spiritual warfare.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
So you're talking about, so let's be clear, you're done with the gangstalking topic, that's dead. Now you're changing the topic, it's a segue. Now you're talking about spiritual warfare, and go ahead.
Yeah, I think Chris, people don't really like Chris LaSala very much, but he's one of the guys that talks, he's a Christian, he has a YouTube channel, talks about spiritual warfare, and he had one video on gangstalking, but he mentions that it's a spirit, it is spiritual in nature, and there are lots of videos of ex-Satanists talking about manipulating the environment, manipulating through occult magic or whatever, these kind of things. So
again, Meegs, it's a pretty small segment of the population.
Well,
all that stuff is real.
You're right. It is.
And it creates too much fear. You have to be a targeted individual. You have to be targeted for these things to happen to you.
Right.
Majority of the population, it's real. It is real. But majority of the population does not experience it. But they do experience spiritual warfare. So going along with the Bible, you have a guardian angel, correct?
I mean, I think there are angels. We can ask for angels.
Lots of angels. Thank you. There's a host of heavenly angels. And all you have to do is ask God, and He'll send an angel to help you. And even when you don't ask, God loves and cares for you. So if you're going through a financial problem, He'll send a financial angel. If you have a relationship problem, He'll send a relationship problem. Someone died, He'll send that religion. There's all kinds of angels that have specialties to help us deal with our human emotions. And they're always there and always present and always helping us. And then when we ask the Father for help, then that amplifies, and it's kind of like, turning on your power signal to bring them in more powerfully. And that's why prayer is so important. And the Bible says, pray constantly. You need to pray constantly. Every time a thought comes in your head, ask yourself, where did that thought come from? Does that thought come from my little nugget between my ears? Did I think of that? Or did that thought come from somewhere else? If it came from somewhere else, then ask the question, do I want to entertain this thought? And if it's a bad thought, say, no, I don't really want to entertain that thought. And then, in the name of the Father and the Holy Spirit, I command you to be gone.
Absolutely.
And it's written in the Bible, they must obey, and boom, they go. And, there is truth in the Bible. It is a living word of God. I know it's really different here, but there's still truth in the Bible, for heaven's sakes. I don't care how much they change that dang thing. The truth is there. And guess what? We don't need... you don't even need the Bible. You know why? Because God wrote His moral code in your heart. Everything God ever wanted you to know is He put into your heart. It's written into your heart, and you know the truth. A child doesn't have to be told what's right or wrong. A 2-year-old, when he does something wrong, what does he do? He instantly lies. He learns to lie. Okay? Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, I think. I'll shut up.
Cool, buddy. No, it's cool. I understand.
I think you're dead on. And go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, Rena's been trying to say something. She wanted to bring something up real quick. Rena, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's fascinating. I love hearing everything. I just want to know if you guys had dealt with any type of paranormal activity, which I think those are just demons in disguise. But I've been dealing with paranormal activity like my whole life. Even in my new home that we just bought, 2014. And all of a sudden, since I've experienced the Mandela effect, it's all stopped completely. And, this retrocognitive energy that replays over and over almost every night on the stairway, or the voices, there's different things. Even my son has experienced a few things. It's just gone. Like, it feels like, to me, this Mandela effect is some type of powerful demon that has trumped all other paranormal activity. What do you guys think?
Yes, indeed. You hit the nail on the head. Please pray to Jesus as often as you can. This happened to me too. that was the only thing that made it go away. And I was hearing voices too. I was getting horrible, like disgusting sexual dreams. Like I don't even have a problem sharing that. That's common demonic activity. You are not crazy. Please start praying to Jesus. That's the only way that I tried everything else, and man, nothing else made him go away. And I promise you, you and your whole family, if you do that, there's no way you won't live in fear anymore. After
Hallelujah,
that.
and praise the Lord.
Yeah. But
And I must say,
that really happens.
I must say that is a great thing that we have Jesus, our Lord and Savior, right there when He needs us. He's just waiting for us to call. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes that's how He wakes people up too. I mean, God allows these things to happen. He chastises who He loves, and that's a way of waking some people up, unfortunately. But it is a reality that there is a spirit world. I mean,
I like the Bible verse. He who seeks shall find. You want to knock on the door, open it.
Yeah, seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened. I think that's from Matthew, I believe. I'm trying to remember.
That's one of my favorite verses ever. Because what that means is we're all children of God and we all have access to the Lord. We just have to wake up and realize that and open that door and bring in God into our lives and all throughout this place. That's why I preach over and over again and be that pillar of light and shine the energy all throughout this place and let that kingdom come upon this place. I'm ready for the new kingdom to come upon this whole earth, I
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Pleasure having you on here.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Have a good night.
All right, you too, Rena. I'll talk to you later.
That's so funny that she asked that, because when I woke up to the Mandela effect, I was getting that stuff like right hand in hand with it. Have you guys experienced that too? Like sort of like paranormal?
I wrestle with demons all the time. Honestly, I was in Iraq for a while and I have a really bad, deep, things I have to work out in my head, but I'm trying. It's going good right now. So,
were you in the Army, right?
Yep, U.S. Army Air Assault, 101st Infantry, 1st 327 Infantry Regiment.
So you weren't at the Battle of Fallujah then, okay?
Oh no, no, I was in the third wave of deployments.
My stepson was in the Battle of Fallujah. He's crazy stuff, man. He's told me so.
Luckily, I didn't experience a lot of real bad stuff. Just the few things I was around. It's just
that was enough.
Yeah. Luckily, nothing too crazy. A lot of my friends died though, so that was hard to deal with.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. They died doing what they wanted. They love to do. Fighting the good fight. So that's all that matters.
There's a lot of truth in that. I don't know if people understand that. I was in the Navy myself. Well, I kind of said that already, but yeah, I was in the Navy. So
did you learn about like admiralty law and stuff, like crazy stuff? I'm sure you learned about like all sorts of crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of weird military law that most civilians don't know about, like
the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Strange thing, man.
They can fry you for anything in that damn thing, I'm telling you.
Well, let me just tell you guys that I work with a bunch of Air Force personnel. Amazing people. They're youngsters, but I tell them, because it's our job, okay, I really feel, and this is the Spirit talking through me, that us as elders, in the 30s and above, we need to help our younger people, like in the teens and 20s, because they are desperately needing guidance sometimes. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think it's a different world out there than I was used to. I mean, like, I know when I was in my teenage years, which I'm only, in my 30s now, but it seems like just so much of a change has happened. It's like it used to be this courteous world. Like everybody was, nice to each other and tried to get along and hang out and all that stuff. And I'm not saying the world's not like that. I just mean, like, I even went to the gas station today and it was so strange. Some kid was in line, not kid, you know, he's late teens or early 20s, I don't know. And he's at the end of the line. There's like 20 people in line, and this other register opens. So he walks from the back of the line, and before he can get up to the register, somebody else goes in front of him. But it's because he was in the back of the line. They just walked over real quick. Well, anyway, he flipped out. I mean, he starts cursing and going crazy. I thought he was going to hit someone. I'm just saying, though, I know those things happen, but it just seems like they happen so much more now for some reason. It's like a lot of tension in the air now.
Yeah.
At least where I'm at.
It's in the Bible. It says in the last days, men will be lovers of themselves. I mean, what are we doing constantly? Like,
Hey.
selfies. Never enough selfies. I mean, this is like, yeah, this is it. If there was ever an age where men were lovers of themselves, like this is it, right? Like I think like that's a valid point though. You know, people really have changed. Even pictures of large crowds of people. I mean, like before they were just, even before the invention of the smartphone, everybody's just talking to each other. You know, now everybody's just, you know, like literally like in their own world. You know, it's just like you can't
literally.
We're trying to like dive into our smartphones. We can't get them close enough to our face. You know. I don't know.
So true though.
That's all by design, I think. Like, I think they're trying to, I don't know. They're trying to get us married to technology, A. B, they're trying to get us to, like, be sealed off, like, cordoned off from, like, our brothers and sisters. You know, they're trying to get us to isolate ourselves, to be in our own little world. And to, you know, just, I don't know, lose all sort of what was special about being human in the first place, you know?
Definitely.
I don't know.
I find it so strange, man. It's like the cell phones, they do it, and the internet, it's done a great thing. You know, I'm deep in the internet myself and all that, and technology, but it takes us like away like so much. We used to just be out running around all the time when, you know, that's all I used to do. And it's like I meet a lot of people now that when, you know, I was 18 or 20, I was partying all the time, meeting people all the time, traveling the world, and a lot of people are, you know, they kind of stick in their phone or their computer, and that's it. So it's just really a big change. I didn't expect it, I guess. I should have been looking for it instead of keeping my eyes closed to everything.
Yeah.
In my bubble.
Yeah. I just saw this thing about like coders, people developing apps will try to implement something that makes us keep checking our phones, you know, like they want it to be hit or miss. Like sometimes we check it and there's nothing there. Sometimes we check it and we get a dopamine hit. Like they're like purposely developing this stuff so that like we get our happiness from like non-existent, I mean, from human interaction that isn't like even real. And so like, it's just another, I mean, and you think like Apple, like the first Apple computer sold for like $666.60 or something. That this is all part of a system. Like this has all been put in place. Some people say the New World Order or whatever, like to separate brother from brother, sister from sister, just make us kind of not be what God wanted us to be, in my opinion.
That was such a good thing you just said, to separate brother from brother and sister from sister, because it really does happen. And it seems like in most families, and I'm not overgeneralizing, I know there's a lot that aren't, you know, like this, but it seems like brothers and sisters used to be like, without the technology, they'd have to entertain themselves by doing things together. And now with it, it doesn't happen. I think that's the whole foundation of where a lot of people don't learn a lot of interpersonal skills or how to get along with other people now, because they do it through an internet where it's, hey, I control you, and then I can bounce away so fast and you'll never know who I am. And yeah, I sound old and preachy right now. I need to stop.
Wow.
Well, on that note, can I change the subject, or is
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So basically, what I was getting at earlier, and a lot of people have said, you know, okay, so where of all this Mandela effect stuff, and that, okay, so now what do we do? And we all agree there's a lot of stuff going on in the universe. So, Brian, if I'm allowed to screen share in a minute, I'll show you what my group does. We go on missions, and we heal the universe. And one of the times we're doing a mission, this guy just happened to catch our mission. So, do you want to let me screen share?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Where'd it go? Hold on a second. Did I lose it?
I see the Mandelbrot you're doing in the background there.
Here we go. Cool. All right. So you see the moon wobbling?
No, I don't see it yet.
You have to enable your video, I think, for us to. Oh, maybe not.
Are you talking in general, or what you're
How
about to do?
Do I have to do something to screen share?
You have to click on that little green icon at the top left.
Oh, sorry.
Under the chat button.
All right, so I'm screen sharing now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is the mission we did on the moon, and this guy just happened to capture what we were doing.
Wait, is that really the moon?
Yeah, that's really the moon. You see how it's all wobbling?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was my group. We were doing a mission on the moon. This guy happened to catch it live. We were correcting the energy frequency of the moon. See, you think you're human, but you have to realize that you're a spiritual being and you're a soul, and you go beyond the physical universe, and you can extend your powers out to things that need to be healing, like the moon needed healing. So we threw an energy field around the moon and began to heal it. As we begin to heal it, it changes the dimensional frequency of it. So you're seeing the moon bounce between dimensional frequencies, and we are correcting the moon on a dimensional level. And this stuff is real. This is what my group does. We actually go out and work on stuff and heal the universe. We heal the planet. We run around healing stuff. And this guy just happened to capture one of my missions.
Where's that camera? Is that from a satellite?
The guys in, if you see the top left, it says telescope.
Oh.
Courtesy of Paul, Miami, Florida. He's using a PNK space image celestron CPC. It's 11-inch scope. That's a big telescope. So he has 11-inch telescope, and he's in Florida broadcasting live. And in Florida, it was at 12:28 at this time.
So maybe I was starting to think back at some of Tom Hefner's theories that he brought up, like I think the last week when we had the session. We were in chat, and he was talking about Schumann resonance. He actually told me that the Schumann resonance has jumped up to like 120. I don't know if that's true, but you know, that may have something to do with the ringing in our ears and the shifting. And
yeah, the ringing in your ears is you adjusting to the higher dimensional frequencies. As you raise in your consciousness and awareness, it starts with the ringing in the ears.
I've been having like just total lack of energy lately. Like really.
Oh yeah, last week or two. I've been dead tired for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask
somebody in the chat. Oh, sorry, real quick. I wanted to say somebody in the chat said.
You can stop my screen share if you want. I don't care. You saw it.
Stacey,
keep it on. I don't care.
That's pretty cool stuff, Harmony. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Stacey B, I think she said in the chat that you can actually touch her body and like you can feel the electricity flowing. Like
you can.
Talking about like an electricity current, electrical current.
Yeah, well, your body is an electrical current. Absolutely.
Wow.
Have you ever?
That's insane.
I know it sounds silly, but have you ever taken like a voltmeter or ohm meter and measured the volts coming from, coming from your body? It's so small, but there's voltage coming out of your body. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
I actually did some testing. So back to the Mandela thing.
I still can't shoot lightning bolts out of my fingers yet.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can rub your feet on carpet and touch something. Come on, you can do it right now. We
don't
stop
have
living in a box, Meegs. Step out of the box. You can do anything. Anything. Jesus Christ said, if you say that mountain over there, move, it'll move. You know what the problem is? You need faith as tiny as a mustard seed. That
Yup.
itty bitty teeny tiny bit of doubt, that's what stops the mountain from moving.
Yeah,
It's
you're
you.
right.
It's you.
It's not me. Not me personally.
Well,
No, I get it. I get what you're saying.
when you start having faith and mountains move all over the place, I'll know.
You're totally right. Yeah.
UNIROCK,
I'm kidding
getting lost.
I'm kidding around.
That's why the placebo works pretty well too, I think. But the Jesus effect trumps everything, in my opinion. Anyway.
So wait, you just brought up the
I sound so lame, but it's for real though. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
No, you brought up the Jesus effect, and I was kind of thinking about. I wanted to bring up about, people in this reality. Do you think some of them could be holograms? I'm just bringing this up. I know it's theoretical.
That's an interesting question. It's not to say that like Christians don't have room in their worldview to accept crazy stuff like holograms. I think we do have quite clearly we have holographic technology. There's Project Bluebeam, is it? But yeah, there's videos of people at zoos, like little children at zoos, and there's holographic technology where they will actually, there's a real creatures, they appear so real to them in real life that the kids will they'll be oohing and awing and reaching out and trying to touch these holograms because they appear to be so real. And as far as people being holograms that we could run into and talk to on a day-to-day basis, that could totally be possible. Why not? I think the government has some serious technology they're getting from fallen angels under Antarctica or wherever the heck they are. Who knows what they have? Who knows what kind of technology they have and what we have no idea they have.
They're called backdrop people, Meegs.
Backdrop people. I've heard of walk-in. Yeah,
the walk-ins, backdrop people, all that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about this.
It's real. No,
sorry, I'm back. I'm not sure what happened there.
You joined twice. That was weird. I watched you come in and it said Brian has joined and you were still in here. That was so strange.
The Mandela effect's trying to shut us out. No, I'm kidding. I missed that whole conversation. And can you repeat what you were saying, or at least summarize it?
We absolutely do have holographic technology. The government does, and that's why I think they're putting so many heavy metals in the sky, because they're going to use holographic technology in the sky to make us think there's aliens coming down or something. But as far as I like to think that people we talk to day to day, I would hope that they all have souls that that are real people, but I don't know. As Harmony was saying, people do talk about the phenomenon of walk-ins or backdrop people. I have no idea if they have this kind of technology. I hope to God that they don't, because that would be really weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What have you heard of this stuff, Uni?
Yeah, I just pulled up a picture. This is actually a hologram right over here.
Yeah, that's a video.
This is a hologram right in front of a child.
Yeah, that's
He's
a video
trying to
Meegs
grab
was
it.
talking about.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, and if they have that kind of technology, and they're just using it on the public, think about what kind of technology they have. Think of how more advanced it is behind the closed doors of the government, wherever they are.
I'm trying to block a little bit of it because I don't want it to us to have some problem showing it, but I don't think it'll matter. It's not off YouTube, so I don't think it'll be a problem. But yeah, look at this stuff, man.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
She thinks
it looks real.
You can't distinguish it. Yeah.
What is
so
that? Operation Bluebeam or something like that? I've heard. Is that what it is?
They've already experimented with it. You type in sky anomalies, type in UFO anomalies, whatever. Cities in the sky. I think that this is a government operation called
It's
Project.
been around since Kennedy.
Yeah, Harmony, you probably know.
I've done videos on this. Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
around since Kennedy.
They just experiment at random places in the world and make amazing things show up in the sky.
They do.
Yeah.
Wow, it looks. I can almost touch it. It seems so
Exactly.
real.
That's one of the cities. There's one in China. But
That's the good one. That one right there.
That one is a good one. You want to
Yeah.
explain that one? This disappeared in the clouds over China. That's a trippy one.
yeah, it's
From all the reports we have, it actually was in the sky. I mean, this wasn't like, you know, a cast
not
of
a
like
hoax.
clouds cutting off a. Yeah, I mean, it really was there in the sky. Now, whether or not it was a mirage or something else, you know, that's all up for debate by whoever was looking at this. But it's
yeah.
interesting.
But I think they have this technology and they've spent billions of dollars on it. Probably they're going to use it on a grand scale. Fasten your seatbelts, guys. Like, don't be. I mean, I think it's going to be part of a big deception. I think there's going to be some kind of. I think what it'll be.
Meegs on the reason they haven't done it is because every time they do it, someone else steps in and stops them from doing it.
Really? Oh, like someone like you?
And that's why we're not gonna have nuclear war here either. We're not gonna have nuclear war or Project Blue Beam. None of that crap's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Hey, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I got to run upstairs.
That's cool, man. Let's hope it doesn't happen.
Well, they
Yeah.
tried just not too long ago. And Diego Garcia, they had so many planes landed on Diego Garcia that they had to
Oh,
start
yeah.
using the grass, and they were planning a Project Blue Beam mission, and we went on a mission and stopped them. So you're right, Meegs.
Yeah. Wasn't that like flight something 482? Like they took all those people to the Diego Rivera Island and that guy like hit a phone up his butt or something. Anyway, that's a crazy story. It's like the secret island where I don't know what they do to people. But,
Well, I was in the Navy. Diego Garcia is a Navy base, so.
oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, my dad showed me a story about
You're
that.
not allowed. Because it's so small. When you're stationed there, you're not allowed to bring your family, so they consider it sea duty.
Yeah.
So there's nothing. There's no civilians. It's all military.
I heard about some really dark stuff going on there, though. I don't know. Who knows? I got my dad into conspiracy theories, though. He showed me all about the Diego Rivera thing. I was like, or whatever it was. Diego, I don't even know. Diego Rivera is a painter. That's not the same. Anyway, but yeah, the point is they have secret technology. They're going to use it. They've already tested it out on us, and we can expect to see it in the near future. I think
Meegs, picture yourself going back 100 years ago, and if I were to tell you I could hold a phone in my hand and talk to anybody in the world, you'd say I was nuts. Well,
Right.
picture all the technology today. Go 500 years into the future, and that's where America is today. We are 500 years beyond the technology.
I believe it. Did you guys ever see those videos on YouTube where they're time travelers with cell phones, like in the
Oh yeah.
early days? Do you remember seeing those?
Oh, that's.
I don't know how many of them are actually true, but
It's true.
like the Twilight Zone episodes. Yeah, there's a few about the Mandela effect. But like, oh, what is one? I just watched it, but I can't remember what it's called. It's about some guy that had his friend disappear after getting back on a military mission, except he looked at a newspaper and apparently his friend was never on the mission with him, and he's trying to tell everyone and they're like, no, you're wrong. And he's like, ah! But yeah, it's like, this is our own personal Twilight Zone episode. That's why life isn't boring anymore, but it's
well,
very taxing every day.
it was a box of chocolates. Remember, not is.
Yeah.
So
Goodness. Yeah, every day is a new adventure, though. Like, if you ever wanted to be an explorer as a kid, like, well, here's your chance. Like you can explore like the new changes in the world, and they're happening every day. So it's not even like that, it's all a bunch of theories. Like, this is happening in real time, like every single day. Everyone can be a researcher. Like, that's why I respect people like you guys, and you all like. you know, on this chat right now, you guys all have a million videos about this different things that you've noticed, different things that you've seen, and it's just like it's amazing that we're working together to uncover what this is, you know, like in our own separate ways. That's pretty cool.
I know. I'm gonna propose the question while you brought up Twilight Zone. How many people remember Rod Sterling instead of Rod Serling? Because that's kind of like what resonates with me. And I know there's like Sterling Silver, but I remember calling him Rod Sterling.
Sterling.
Sterling for you too?
Yeah.
Sterling.
And how many of you remember the? I kind of remember him having like a unibrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was even some comments made in some forums about Sterling's unibrow. I found.
Yeah.
So, and if you look at all the pictures, he doesn't have a unibrow now. So I don't know. It could be a possible Mandela effect. I don't know.
Well, the name definitely is. Like
so,
Joel Osteen's a big one for people.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I mean, Osteen now. My mom sent me his book. It was Olstein, and then it became Osteen right in front of my eyes. I was like, wow.
That's crazy. Yeah, that one. There's so much residual for like famous names like that too. Like Hillary, I always see the 2 L's and then the 1 L. Like that's like nobody can decide on how to spell freaking Hillary Clinton, who like was almost president.
It's 2 L's here.
It's 1 L, I think.
It was 1 L around the time of the election. Then it dropped. It went to 2 L's. Then it went back to 1 L, and then back. It went back and forth, I believe.
So weird.
That would make sense because they want Hillary to be president.
Julia Childs too is the big one for me that just happened while we're on names again. I know these Mandela effect conversations are impossible because we just get on tangents. But yeah, Julia Childs turned to Julia Child. That one made me crazy.
Look at Dennis Leary. Supposedly now it's Dennis with 1 N. Denise Leary or something like that.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah,
No.
look up Dennis Leary.
Oh, that's so silly. That was never like that before. Denise.
Hey, just let you know, I got to take a like 10-15 minute break. If you're still on, I'll be back. If not, good night. I have to take a break.
Sounds
That's
good.
cool, Harmony. You want to take about a 5 or 10 minute? We might just go ahead and end it. I don't know if you guys have any more like questions.
I have to walk my dog.
Okay.
And I have a cat too. I have a snowshoe.
I know Andy wants the spotlight. Anyways, it was awesome to finally speak with you, Harmony. I've been a big fan.
Yeah, hey, contact me on Skype. You're welcome anytime.
Yeah, it was definitely awesome. Thanks, Harmony, for jumping on here.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks.
It was a great chat. Good conversations. I enjoyed it. So thank you, everybody. God bless. Peace be well. And as I always say, doesn't matter what your belief religion is. The sun says, the sun rises. Find that peaceful, that quiet place. Be alone with the Lord. Meditate. Get connected back to true source God, Creator. Bring in that energy and shine like a pillar of light unto the world and spread love everywhere. That's really, at the end of the day, we're a soul. We're not biological units. We are a soul, and our souls need to get reconnected and get grounded and energize this place and help others wake up.
Question coming. We got another caller coming through. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Matt HD.
Oh, hey Matt, what's up?
What's up, Matt?
Hey. Hey, you
hey,
there?
What's up?
Go ahead. You can talk.
Yeah, I'm there. Oh, Meegs, your cat is so cute.
It's actually my mom's cat, but yeah, he's loving this right now. He loves all these voices. He loves hearing these voices. He wants to be all over the computer right now. So what are your thoughts about the Mandela effect? Ow! He just bit me. What are your thoughts about the Mandela effect situation? Anything to report?
Yeah, Matt, you can go ahead and talk. It's okay. We're all cool. I think we all have some anxiety. You go ahead. You can talk whatever you want to ask them or say.
All right, it's cool. All right, I noticed people really do seem fake. Like, at least like 75% of people appear like without death or any human soul.
Say that one more time.
Like, people have no soul. That's how it seems. Like, honestly.
Yeah, it definitely we see more like blank, vacant, or hostile behavior from people we didn't expect to act like that ever. So yeah, like blank, out to lunch, don't care, apathetic, or hostile. It seems very odd behavior in people.
And in cats too, apparently. I'm kidding.
Yep.
You think it's part of the beast system, or do you think? I mean, it's definitely something spiritual, I think.
Yeah. Me too.
Don't take the easy route. That's what I'm saying. Don't. The easy route says do whatever you want, but
Do what thou wilt. Don't do that.
we know the what is it?
Oh, I take the hard route all the time.
Narrow the gate. Something about that. Straight is the path, and narrow
Why
is the gate. You know that line?
Wide is the path to destruction, narrow is the path to, I don't know. I totally botched that. You get the point.
Yeah.
We want to be on the narrow path, guys. We want to be on the straight and narrow path. In my humble opinion, it's the path that leads us to Jesus.
That's right.
We had a viewer asked us to look up the sign in the sky on September 23rd.
Hey, appreciate you calling, buddy. Have a great night.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
Man.
I didn't know there was somebody on the phone. I'm sorry, Matthew.
No, that's cool. That's cool. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just. Who was it? One of your viewers. Okay, here he is. Well, I just lost him. Tiago Vasconcelos. Oh, hey, it's all good, bro. He wanted us to look at this biblical sign in the sky, September 23rd, 2017. There's some pictures, I guess. Let me see if I can find it. The green arrows of the 9 stars of Leo. Blue arrows show the planets Mercury. Okay, I think this is talking about the sign in the sky that's going to, and then the eclipse that's going to happen, that big eclipse. I think we talked about it when you were on my show, Brian.
Yeah, that's the alignment coming up. Supposedly. Is that what you're talking about?
I think that's what this is saying.
I just felt like the Leo constellation there.
Yeah, it was a biblical verse about
Revelation.
would come with, like the crowns and stuff. Yeah, in Revelation.
Revelation 12.
Hmm.
It's interesting how time is sort of racing right now. I wonder if it's going to actually like slow down eventually, or is it just going to keep getting faster?
I think we're just being jettisoned into tribulation now, and I think it's just going to keep speeding up because we got some prophecy that needs to be fulfilled pretty soon. Oh no!
Oh, for sure. I gotta fix my. There we go.
And we're just trying to wake folks up. That's all we're doing here, right? I mean,
that's right.
The Mandela effect is exposing the delusion that's on everyone. It's just look at 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 11. Everyone, the delusion and the man of perdition.
Absolutely, yeah. The Bible does have plenty of answers to these questions. You know, but better than anything else that I've found in my quest for why the Mandela effect is happening. But also, yeah, it's a spiritual thing. Like deep in my spirit, I know that the Bible has all the answers.
That's another thing, Meegs, and I really appreciate you being on here because you have more of a Christian aspect or outlook toward it, and I really appreciate that. Because it's all these scientific explanations, and yes, I mean I agree. We need to take it from a scientific perspective, but at the same time, we can't lose sight of God. We can't lose sight of Christ. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and I gotta say, like, one more time, I was coming at it and still am coming at it from a scientific perspective. I'm proving that I had an unbiased, you know, investigation of this because I was atheist before. And I'm telling you, like, I had to remove all biases and really look at this. And I'm you know, I've said in a ton of my videos, because I saw the Bible being attacked, I had to come to the conclusion that its contents were very important, and its contents tell you to accept Jesus Christ as your savior. And I took a chance and I did it. And I mean, that changed my life. So I'm just want to hit home again that I was coming into this as like 100% believer in nothing, basically. I was super atheist. I hated God. So that's where I, you know, it's worth saying as much as I possibly can. And that's why I make videos, you know, to help lead other people. Because what does Jesus say about the coming tribulation? People will they'll seek death, but they won't be able to find it. Stuff is going to be so crazy. And I don't want to fear monger.
No.
Not a fear monger. But it's good to know now that you have the option of coming to Jesus before stuff starts happening, if it does. So, you know.
Yeah, we kind of say that on my channel. We use more of a generalized way to say it, just because we have a lot of people, like international viewers and stuff, that are from different beliefs, but we always try to spread the same message, I think. So I think that's pretty awesome.
God is love, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Positive, you know, fighting against the negativity.
Yeah. But yeah, again, you know, there is so much hostility towards people in the Mandela effect community, and like sometimes amongst ourselves. And, you know, as much as, you know, there's like, you know, it's tough. We see so much hostility even coming to people with the Mandela effect. It's like it snaps onto people's faces. Somebody in the chat was saying her sister had a very kind nature. Her sister's a very kind person usually. And she mentioned the Mandela effects to her, and she like snapped at her for a second. And I saw that just now in the chat. I'm like, yeah, this is what this does to people. Even there's infighting amongst the Mandela community, and it's just like, oh guys, it's like we gotta stop that. We're gonna have differing opinions.
I know.
Yeah,
we gotta come together.
It's like a lot of
yeah.
What's that word? You know, where people are real, I don't want to say selfish, but they're looking at they're always trying to be the first or the best one that's done a certain Mandela effect or something. And I think that drives a lot of the arguing or however in the Mandela community. It's like this need for people to be the best, or, you know, the first or something. And, you know, it's always sad when that happens. It drives the community apart because people have desires like that, you know.
Ignorant and prideful.
Exactly. Yeah. And, you know, it's a new frontier for people. It's a way for people to get their voices out. And unfortunately, a lot of people's egos are tied to the Mandela effect, and like being the first. It's like who went to the moon first, who put their flag down on like the moon soil first. You know, it's like that guy MS Eamon has a really good channel. He's like yeah. Nobody owns the Mandela effect. Okay, he's like, nobody owns the Mandela effect. I was like, this guy talks so much sense. Because we're all coming at this together. This just happened to us on a grand scale. No matter how long the Mandela effect's been happening in our world, we're all just now waking up to it in the past 2 years. So, like, we all gotta put down those weapons, put down those, you know, stop calling each other names, and just work it out together. You know, be nice to each other.
You know, there's some people out there, I'm not going to say any names, that believe Jesus is a yogi and or was a yogi, and I don't believe that. I think he was truly the savior. He is.
Me too. Yeah.
I believe he's the Savior also. I'm not necessarily like really super religious right now. I don't know. I mean, I have been in the past, and I probably need to be. It's something that I need to get into a little more. So, I'll definitely be working on that in the next few weeks. I've been putting that part of myself off a little bit, and I shouldn't.
Yeah, it's a crazy. I mean, again, it's just like no one expected we'd be in this position now, and like it's still so fresh. None of us really know how to deal with it. It's like, how can we? But like there is validity to the power of Jesus Christ, and if even one person gets that message, and if someone's doubting that, or they're like thinking about it, or like I hope people know that that's an option. You can come to him, and I mean he'll change your life. And I just can't say that enough. Like, all the answers to the Mandela effect are in the Bible, but then again, that's my personal opinion. And
Yes,
I think
Definitely. I found a lot of answers to it in ancient texts, especially the Bible. It's probably the Bible the most of all, because I've studied all ancient texts, but I do find the Bible has the most of the seemingly like it's most in line. It's like it kind of told us this was going to happen in a way.
it predicted everything, I think.
yeah, absolutely. And and I will throw in, my friends and I at work have been discussing aliens like all the time, and channelers, people who channel aliens. You look at some of these channelers like Abraham Hicks, and like a few different channelers will go back to biblical figures. Like they'll say they'll have biblical names. Like these aliens will be talking about biblical stuff, and it's just like, why does everything seem to go back to the Bible? Like, why is there prophecy in the Bible that relates to the Mandela effect? Why is the Bible such a huge target of it? So, I mean, I don't want to like beat a dead horse or whatever, but it's just like all signs point to that as being like pretty big, and like with the Mandela effect. When you talk about the Mandela effect, you can't leave out the Bible, because it's got all the answers.
Definitely. Meegs, I want to tell you, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an awesome job waking up people, because, there's definitely something going on here
Yeah.
with the Mandela effect.
Definitely.
And, you're right. We're all part of something big here. And, the Bible says, I mean, we're all giving different gifts. I mean, and some people are good in front of people. Some people are better, we all have different talents, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I can't do it alone. I have so many people that fight for me, and they go find Residue for me. So I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of you for helping us find Residue, and for those of you who are my channel, UNIROCK's channel, I thank you all very much. And
I so appreciate you guys. This is like group therapy.
I appreciate you too. It is.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's just.
We've got to do this again soon.
Yeah.
We got to keep doing this stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah, we really do. Yeah,
Thanks again.
And I think for people, for people watching too, and in the chat and participating, like it's one of the best ways to exchange ideas and to talk about new effects. Like, I've learned so much watching live chats. I mean, it's a great way to bring everyone up to date on, the pulse of the Mandela effect. Anyway, thanks for hosting, Brian.
Yes, thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
Yes, definitely, and thank you, One Harmony. Thanks, all of you. Okay, Meegs, we'll do it again.
Yeah, and
Oh, good. Go ahead.
Can I say something, Brian? I want to say any of you guys, Evin too, and I always I say your name completely wrong every
EYA,
time. What's
Cat.
the name of the
Cat?
Cat. Okay, I'll just say Cat from now on, because every time I try to say EYA, I mess up. You guys are always welcome. I stream every night. Anytime you want to come in, just let me know, because I want to get your message out too. I got about 900 subs. They'd love to hear you guys. So you're welcome anytime. So.
That's
That's right. Yeah,
Thank you.
shout out to UNIROCK also. He's got his excellent channel. He's kind of new in the Mandela effect world, but yeah, I'll post his link down below, and also Meegs and Harmony. Again, good night, you guys.
Thanks for
Good night,
watching
everybody.
everyone in the chat. You guys rock. And
Thanks,
yeah,
all of you.
God bless y'all.
God bless you too, Meegs. Good night.
Good night, guys.
See ya.